He's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on
we'll go through this as right now. I just expect it. So I'm underwater, right?
For sure.
Okay, hold on here.
You sound like you're on AM radio for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
You're
right.
under AM water.
Let me go up here.
So, we were just talking off air on the cell phone about 14 times clearer.
Oh, way clearer.
All right, hold on.
This hits different in the mountains.
What there?
Okay. We're
what about
you?
Keep talking.
Oh
no, you had something.
Okay, hold on. We got it?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Keep talking.
What? Hi.
Keep talking.
Hi, how are you? How's this sound? Does it sound good? Or is it? Are we at the point where you're messing with me and everything's fine?
No. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
On a scale of but I don't want it to be like passable. So on a scale of 1 to 10 for a remote purpose, obviously nothing will be like studio, but on a scale of 1 to 10, where are we at?
8.5.
9.
Okay.
8 or 9.
Am I over modulating?
No.
Perfect.
No. I'm perfect. Oh, well, okay. Can you hear this? Nope, not that. Hold on. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
You hear that? Yeah. And what about the applause? You hear that?
No.
When you talk, it goes away.
Oh, hold on. Here we go. Applause?
Yeah, but is it really short?
No. Drum beat?
Yeah, it's like we get the we don't get the close of the beat.
Can you hear this?
By the way,
I'm walking over there before I get my coffee.
Yes, I can.
Okay, good.
The one thing that sucks that I hate, well, I mean, there's a lot of things that suck and I hate, but the one thing I don't like when I'm on a remote or when I'm not there is that I can't play audio, and I feel like I should be able to play audio. Let me see here. I'm playing this guy. Can you guys hear this?
Nope.
At all?
Nope.
Nope. All right, hold on. What about now? What about now? Nothing?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I know there's a way I can play audio for you guys. But I haven't figured it out yet, and I don't really care. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, July 10th, and this is the first time I've been up here, but it's been warm enough. I mean, you can see I'm wearing a windbreaker, but it's warm enough to be outside, right? So we'll see if I piss my neighbors off.
Where's the pizza maker?
That's exactly what I was thinking, Chris. How close in relation to what we're seeing on our screen is the pizza maker?
I would imagine the pizza maker is somewhere. I don't know. I need to ask Melissa. It's somewhere, I want to say, in a dump up here, unless it's been processed or whatever happens, because it's not that. So that's behind me. Why can't I finger this right? Okay. Hello. Behind me, you can see the picket fence, and that's where I threw the pizza maker over.
Okay.
So, but it's gone. And I think Melissa went and got it last time she was up here, and probably either she cleaned it out and it's somewhere here hiding from me, or she threw it away. I told her to throw it away, but knowing her, she did not. So we'll see.
Chances of us seeing wildlife during the show?
Really, really, really good. So my friend, there's two friends here, and we're probably, I totally admit there's like environmenty people out there that are going to get mad. because we're probably screwing up some sort of nature's balance. But remember, the first time when I was last up here, and you saw the video of me petting the deer, I panicked, and so all we had was tortilla chips and hamburger buns.
You didn't touch
and
that deer, did you?
Oh, I totally touched it, and yeah, I know
Ooh.
ticks.
Were
and
you
all
not there that show?
No, I was. I didn't know that he actually petted it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, petted it. Okay,
Petted it?
petted
Petted it?
it. I feel like
Andy
it's petted.
petted it.
Andy petted it.
Andy petted it.
So there's the backyard one and there's the front yard one, and I didn't see the front yard one yesterday, but when I got here, it's like he was right at the fence yesterday afternoon, like, yo, what's up? Where have you been? I am hungry. So all I had, I didn't want to give it tortilla chips or hamburger buns, but I hadn't gone to the store yet. So again, I panicked. But apparently mule deer also enjoy Ritz crackers. So I gave it like a couple just to say, hi, I'm here. Love you. Good to see you back. And then I went to the store and I got carrots and celery and lettuce. Doesn't like the celery, I found out.
Yeah,
Like
because you got it addicted to salt.
I know, right? It's just sitting there. It's just addicted. It's scratching its cheeks with its little deer paws.
Got any
like,
more
I
of those
need-
crackers?
Right, exactly. So, want to see my cracker?
Want to see a cracker?
Inside jokes are great. But yeah, so then but carrots are the way to go. But it had a hard time with like the whole carrot, so we cut the carrots into carrot chips, and but did get it to eat the carrot out of my hand finally. And then we opened up there's a gate behind me, and we opened it up and propped it open, and that dude just came back here. And so we were watching the soccer match last night, the Republic Sounders game, and this fool was just chilling, just deering around. So I would say at some point I'll be able to kind of get out of the way, and you'll see right back there. And we have that property back there too. So we've kind of left it alone, and they love the grass back there. So you'll at some point probably see a deer. Maybe we can do a remote view where I can grab my phone, and maybe we can get some deer interaction on the air. That's really good for radio, guys.
Absolutely.
Anyway, how was your afternoon and evening, Jason Ross? And hello to everybody in the chat, by the way, AB and Dwayne and Zeebs and Chris, who's telling me the light blows out the picture and move the camera so the tree. What do you want from me, Chris? I'm on a freaking picnic table on my deck. This thing's on top of a not a fire pit. I don't know what these things are called. It's a rectangle with little ceramic rocks in it that flames come out of. Whatever that is, that's what my computer's balancing on right now.
Well, you're doing a good job of the balancing act. Yeah, afternoon and evening was good. Out at the California Classic last night, game on the air. That was fun. Game didn't go the Kings' way. I know the Republic had their challenges, so not a bad night though overall. Besides that, besides the outcomes of those games.
Yeah. Does last night's outcome, at least with the Cal Classic, we'll talk about that. Does that make you rethink the acquisition of DeMar DeRozan? Wasn't
yeah, I felt it was a must win, and I'm really disappointed. And it's gonna be a tough show for me.
I don't know. Well, obviously you heard the call. You were on the call. Was G-Man okay, or was he a little nervous?
It seemed like he had done it before, so he was kind of comfortable.
Wow, like an old pro, huh?
Seemed like
Bump your booty out there, brother.
916-339-1140 is where you can text us from the 279. Where the hell is it? 279. Aren't you guys? Is that Sacramento?
What?
Mm-hmm. That's our new area code.
That's dumb. I mean,
So we should just run out of numbers.
Yes. You got it. Here's my thing, Christopher. Not every 916 number's taken. They've been taken, but not everyone's taken. You're not going to convince me that every 916 phone number, in fact, there's got to be a way that it's listed, like how many possible phone number combinations are there per area code? And I got to think it's at least 1,000, maybe more. So there's no way that everyone's taken. Like, if you live in Sacramento, you're from the 916. Is this dude going to go out and get a 279 tattoo on his wrist to represent? No. 279. I have a hard enough time with 530. I mean, I'm still getting used to 530, 279. Anyways, this dude
Is 530 before or after the Channel 10, Channel 13 switch?
A great question, Jason Ross. Gosh, I want to say they were around the same time, but I'm going to say it was after the Channel 10, Channel 13 switch. I imagine Chris is furiously Googling this. Jason, before or after?
I believe we've done this before.
With the 530?
Uh-huh.
I don't think we did.
Oh, no. I remember us looking up 530 when it got changed.
Okay. I'm going to say before.
You think the 530 was before the switch?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I say after. So we'll see. This is an early form of celebrity birthdays. Anyways, he says, he's, thought you guys are supposed to do, aren't you guys supposed to do these mic checks before the show starts? Well, look, when one of us is not in studio, we don't have, it goes through a different thing. So we, as far as I know, Chris, we don't have the ability to actually do a mic check until we're on the air, correct?
Oh, no, we can't. We've done it before.
Oh, well, then that's on us then. So good point, Texter. Because we suck. That's why, because we're not professional. What do you want from us? You get to hear. And by the way, everybody likes behind the scenes stuff, right? Like
it's way behind the scenes.
Yeah. Super behind the scenes.
Get to hear everything that we get to say. What?
Yeah, exactly. I hope not. Oh boy, based on that pre-show conversation. So your day was good. It's still stupid hot down there. It was hot. It was over 100 degrees when I got up here. That's
wow.
Yeah. And then I just found out I have a wedding. You know how I feel about weddings. I have a wedding. One of my best friends is his daughter's getting married. So I'm helping him out. The wedding is this Saturday. And it's up in Forest Hill. But the ceremony is outdoors. There's about 150 people, I think, there. And we're all going to be in suits and stuff. And the ceremony itself is outside at 3 p.m.
Woof.
Yeah.
You dancing?
No. No, God, no. But
come on.
No. I know how to do one dance. One. And it's not the one you think.
Do it well and just own it.
No, the only dance I know how to do is the slow dance where you just basically hug and sway.
Well, that's perfect. Do that with the fast songs, and everyone's like, this guy's doing his own thing.
Can't do, Melissa will be up there. It's one time where I think it's easier to be a girl than a guy because they get, they're wearing like nice sundresses and stuff.
Oh, she dance without you?
She has. Yeah. But not in this case. She doesn't know enough people. And she's not, and it's one of the things, I complain about my wife all the time, but it's one of the things I do love about her is she's not, I never could have married one of those girls who's like at the party or the dance or wherever there's dancing, gets a little lubed up and then goes, oh, come on, just dance with me. No, I'm not dancing with you. When I dance, I mean, I don't mean any, I honestly don't mean anything offensive by this. So please bear with. I'm just saying this is like legit. If you see me trying to dance to anything upbeat, it honestly looks like I'm having a seizure. Like it doesn't look natural. I don't have rhythm, and you have to be aware of limitations. I have no rhythm. I was like the one that was in the breakdancing crew with all the other little kids on my street. I could do the little helicopter spin, and I could do like the,
so why not do that?
Just go out there and start breakdancing. I mean, I could do
Clear
that.
The floor.
Yeah.
You're like, hey.
Where everybody just starts clapping.
Yes, and you're in the middle.
I think honestly, because I know there's going to be a few doctors and medical people there, because that's the field the dad's in. They might actually rush the floor and see if I'm okay if that happened. So no dancing. That'll be indoors though. But I will have stories on Monday because I am in charge of the. I know we got a break, Chris. Sorry. I'm in charge of the slideshow. And so he's going to go up and do the dad speech. And I've been putting together. They've been sending me pictures of her throughout her life, and then I put it all together on the slideshow that was way too difficult, way more difficult than it should be. So I'm running the slideshow, but they don't have a TV at the venue. So we solved that. We were going to go get a TV, but then we found out, well, they just have a regular table to put it on. Everybody's sitting down, so half the people won't be able to see it because the TV's at, eye level. So I'm on Friday when we get off work, I'm renting a little U-Haul, and I'm grabbing one of the TVs from my backyard that's on a stand, so it's elevated, and I'm loading that up and bungee cording it into the U-Haul and then driving it up to Forest Hill, unloading it, and then doing the thing. So I'll have a story
you're
on
loco, man.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's only $19.95, I think, for a U-Haul, right? That's all it costs. That's what it says on the side of the thing. So I just
Speaking
give
of
them $20.
$19.95,
Uh-huh.
do you guys want your final guesses for what happened first, the change or the number for 530?
Ooh, so I said I think 530 came after 10 and 13, and Jason, I believe you said it came before, correct?
Correct.
Channel 10 and Channel 13 switched March 6th, 1995, and 530 became a phone number November 1st, 1997.
Oh. That's the native Sacramento thing, Jason. Not the carpetbaggers like you. That's deep Sacramento knowledge. It's not even your fault. You okay?
Nope.
All right.
Tough,
well,
that's a tough L for me.
We're gonna break. Jason's gonna collect himself, and correct himself. We'll also talk about his Yankees, and it looks like Daddy's on the road trip now, so we'll have that conversation and Safer out. We have DeMar DeRozan's press conference from yesterday, the California Classic, the Sac Republic match last night with the Seattle Sounders, but really, honestly, a lot of sound from DeMar DeRozan today. We've got some Monty sound in there as well. We'll talk about it all day long. Sit back, relax, enjoy yourself, get a beverage. We're right back with Leading Off next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
I always do my best to prep for summer, but sometimes things just come up. And when they do, Kohl's and their great prices are always there for me. I just shopped their summer cyber sale and saved big on everything I was missing, like summer must-haves under $15, floor care essentials for 50% off, and kitchen appliances for 30% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash. So no matter what happens the rest of the summer, I'll be ready. Thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
If you're looking for a new couch, you could cut down on expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Because you know you've had this couch for too long. Sure, you've had good times together, but a ripped-up cushion is not a fond memory. It's a sign. Notice how other people have couches with 2 armrests? Now that's living, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new couch. Please, it's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Cut number 1. On the way.
How many times I've seen that beam lit up when I was chilling at home, especially being on Central Time. Me watching, I watch every NBA game. So, like I said, you just always seeing something lit up. And it's like, God damn, what's the significance of pushing this button? But like I said, winning solves all. And that's one thing I always express to guys that I play with that, want to be all-stars, who want to get paid, blah, blah, blah. Everything winning solves everything, and you want to be a part of winning. You want to be a winner. You want to be known as a winner. So for me, that's just, that's the most appealing thing for me, and you see it every single night when this team plays. It's all about winning.
Yep. It's all about winning, Jason. That's DeMar DeRozan at his press conference yesterday. And I think it goes without saying he's got to light the beam with first home win, correct? It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, his references to the beam for his first press conference, he definitely knows. I mean, to say he's a student of the game from the past, the present, he watches the whole league. You could tell that, and yeah, he's into the beam, that's for sure. And I think he will be very happy the first time he gets to do that.
And to think Allen wanted to get rid of it.
Come on, Styles.
I mean, that was just really, we've all had some stinkers, right? We've all had stinkers, but that's going to go down in the annals as that's a style stinker right there is what we call it.
We do call it that.
We do call it that from now on. One thing of note, apparently, well, not apparently, there was a line of media folk that all wanted sit downs with DeMar DeRozan after his press conference. Here's how it generally works. You do the presser, and then there's what's called maybe like breakouts. Well, that's what it's called, where, he might go off to the side, and then, you got one or two guys, a couple people get him there, and then a couple people ask him, and obviously there's going to be some repeat questions. But you've probably seen, if you've looked on Twitter or watched TV, pretty much every media outlet that was out there got one, including us, their partner, who I think we went last, because that's how that should happen. But apparently, I was told he sat for, it was in double digits. It was about an hour and a half after the press conference. He sat for every one, and each one was, 4 or 5 minutes. And we're going to play a couple of them today. But look, on one hand, I get it. If you give me $25 million a year, I would still be doing interviews right now if I was being asked for my press conference yesterday, because I'm getting paid a ton of money. So there's a cynical way to look at that. I prefer to look at it like this. He was under absolutely zero requirement to do any of them. And I guarantee you there were multiple times he answered questions like, what drew you to Sacramento? Yes. What's up with Drake and Kendrick Lamar? A lot of the bingo card got hit yesterday, Jason. But I watched every one of the interviews he did, or at least every one that I watched at least probably 8 or 9, listened to at least 8 or 9, including ours. And there were some repeat questions in there, but it's like he didn't change his answers, but every answer sounded like it was the first time he was asked the question. And I appreciate that. I mean, it's just a tiny thing, but you can tell he really, really has enjoyed this last few days in Sacramento.
Yeah, I think a little sliver of what was it, Monday when we talked to Chuck Swirsky, longtime Bulls announcer. He's like, you guys are getting just a top-notch human being, right? Obviously an incredible basketball player, Hall of Famer. And so you kind of we all got a glimpse of that yesterday from his first press conference, which that was a clip from that. We've got more clips coming up. And like you said, we'll have a couple of individual one-on-ones with him that we'll hear. But you're right, Dave. Like I bet we could ask him if he was on today and just say, what question did you get more than 10 times? And it was probably around what you just said, like those couple of general, and there's nothing wrong with those questions. Those are the right questions to ask. But you keep getting asked about that, and then maybe a 90-minute span, you're like, well, right. But he always answered it, and good for him. Good for him.
And isn't that one of the coolest, in covering athletes and celebrities as long as we have? I don't know about you, Jason, but I have a feeling we agree here, and I think we've talked about this before. One of the coolest character traits of somebody you're interviewing, number one, it's always cool when you're talking to them and they refer to you by your name. It just shows they're engaged and they know who they're talking to. And it makes it feel like you're having a conversation with somebody who wants to have the conversation. But secondly, it's that ability to, even though they've been asked this question, even though that, you still have to ask the question. And when they have that interview conversation with you, where I guarantee you, if we played whatever the very last interview, I think it was Brendan, we'll play it later, whatever the last interview was, as opposed to the very first one that he did of the day, I'll bet you couldn't tell which one came first. and he wasn't looking at his watch or looking over the interviewer's head to look at the handler to wrap it up. And again, it's the little small things like that that speak to character. And you know who it reminds me of a little bit? Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. That's a great thing, right?
Very, very good thing. All right, lots more on DeMar DeRozan today. In the meantime, cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Kerr back in. That's a tough ball to handle if you're Seattle. Felipe lining it up. And that's going to do it full time. The Seattle Sounders off to the semifinals of the U.S. Open Cup for the first time since 2014.
Yep, Seattle came in yesterday. 2 early goals in the first half. Sacramento got a goal going into coming out of the second half. And really, honestly, their offense was asking quite a few questions of the Sounder defense for the entire second half, but just weren't able to capitalize and put that second goal through. I honestly thought about 10 minutes into the second half that Sacramento was going to pull it off, but just not enough. It's an MLS side, and the Republic have punched above their weight just about every year in the U.S. Open Cup, including their trip to the finals a couple years ago. But unfortunately, wasn't to be. They crash out of the U.S. Open Cup at home, 2-1 loss, and back now to focusing on the regular season, getting that USL trophy. But Jason, it was kind of cool to see multiple camera angles, a different type of broadcast. It was on Apple TV with their announcers. It was a very, not, by the way, no offense to Rob and our profession, our broadcast. It was just, he had the big national broadcast out at Heart Health Park, but well over 10,000, 11,000 people there last night. Beautiful evening. They held off the start till 8 p.m. I know a lot of our people listening right now, I'm sure, we're out at the match. Unfortunately, they crash out, but now it's onward and upward and trying to get that USL title.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean what they did wasn't impressive, right? To get to where they did. You had asked yesterday when we talked to Todd Donovan, like, hey, let's get those 2 early goals. And it just was the wrong team, unfortunately, because that's the way, if that had laid out perfectly, that would have been nice for the Republic, but they did fight back and had some chances. But again, that, like, it's weird when I'm sure at some point they'll be pleased with the overall journey, but when you're competitors, they wanted to win the whole thing. So it's a great achievement, but I'm sure there's still a little bittersweet for them.
They actually put out a percentage with Mark Hughes, the coach, and it was something like his win rate is in the 80s when it comes to U.S. Open Cup matches. Just Sacramento, there's no other team that punches above their weight, or actually really has a better winning percentage, I believe they said, MLS or USL over the last 5-6 years than Sac Republic. They just haven't gotten over the top to win the whole thing, and they're not expected to. By the way, they're a step below those MLS cats and getting paid a lot less than those MLS cats. So again, proud of them, proud of the effort. Obviously, they wanted to win. We don't want to sound like we're condescending. They wanted to win, didn't get it, got to the quarterfinals, got to the Elite 8, if you will, of the tournament, and now the focus is on that USL Championship. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got clips. Jason, you're going to guide us through. It's DeMar DeRozan and a little bit of Monty McNair in there.
Yep.
Okay, very good. Yeah. We'll be right back on Sacktown Sports right after this.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here to remind you that the famous Bay Area pizza company Amici's East Coast Pizzeria now has a location in Sacramento, offering takeout and delivery to the greater Sacramento area. You can check out their menu and order online at amicis.com and click on the Sacramento location. And as a special deal all this week, order any large pizza and get a second pizza of equal or lesser value for half the price. Use code HALF-OFF at checkout. So when you want a great deal on pizzas this week, use promo code HALF-OFF at amicis.com. And Amici's delivers.
By Top Tracer. It's more relaxed with golfers and newbies side by side enjoying the technology used on televised golf tournaments. Play a variety of fun games. Play Pebble Beach. Compete against friends at the Hagen Oaks driving range. Or treat yourself to 9 holes on the Mackenzie putting course. Hungry? The Hangout Food Truck offers burgers, chicken strips, and more. And don't forget to check the summer-long free concert schedule at the Hagen Oaks driving range, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, even though Brett Rooker was certainly deserving with his 18 homers and 54 RBIs, the A's electric closer Mason Miller is the team's representative in the All-Star game. Now, he joins a list of 5 other Oakland rookies who have been named to the team over the years. Names like Wayne Gross, Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Andrew Bailey, and Ryan Cook.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver that includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
If you've been on the American River, it's uphill, it's downhill. There's trails everywhere that you can walk, and it just makes you happy. And I couldn't walk, and it was terrible. I was turning into a real crab. I went to the Good Feet store, and I tried on the arch supports. I could not believe that I was not in pain. I can walk, I can run, I can jump, I can do anything. My name's Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spa's Sizzlin' Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzlin' Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach, kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere. Certainly not in California. Not even one piece. Good news? If we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Hey, Jason, the Netflix show Receiver drops today with, I believe, Deebo Samuel and George Kittle, if I remember correctly, amongst the receivers. Are you going to give it a whirl?
The short answer is I don't know. It's something that would intrigue me that I would probably like to watch. I probably would have to start it, and if I start it, then I'm in, and I'm not making an appointment to see it, but I would definitely be intrigued. How about you?
Which are you more excited about? The show Receiver on Netflix, the debut of Hard Knocks, or the Gladiator sequel?
Gladiator sequel would be third.
Wow. Have you seen Gladiator?
I did.
By the way, did you see the trailer?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen the trailer for the new one?
Dave and I watched it yesterday, and we were going pretty crazy for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's very close to a parody, but it's awesome.
That's actually a really, honestly, Chris, I was struggling with how to describe it.
How close is it to like Naked Gun?
No, it's not like that.
Because then it had me.
It almost feels like it's making a parody of like the original Gladiator movie, but it feels so awesome. Like if they're making an action parody, basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Gladiator's a classic, and I have a very difficult time believing that Denzel Washington, Ridley Scott is also very good at what he does. I also have a very hard time believing that Ridley Scott would be involved, Denzel Washington would be involved, and the script would be approved by Ridley Scott to go ahead and even mess with a classic. But based on the trailer, I would say, how we talk about NBA teams and how they have a ceiling and a floor? I would say the ceiling for this movie is multiple Oscars and just, a Top Gun 2 style sequel classic. And the floor is like literally one of the worst movies ever made. Like there is.
So I'm going to enjoy it either way.
Yes, it's either going to be enjoyable because it is just an unmitigated disaster eye roll throughout the whole thing. There's a scene where they're like gladiating, I guess, in the Coliseum, and somehow there's like it's an ocean, like it's a body of water in the
That's
Coliseum.
a real thing.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, that's historically accurate.
Because I'm just wondering how they kept all the water in there. Did they just put a big kiddie pool together, or what?
They would take water from the aqueduct
and just roll it into the Coliseum, and it would just magically,
and then they would drain it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I need to figure out how Lucius, who was the son of the lady who was the wife of the guy, like now he's a gladiator. I don't know how that happened. I have questions. So it's either going to be really good, Jason, or it's just going to be terrible. Unlike the King season.
Can I say something though, really fast?
Oh, please. Sorry. Yes.
The first one.
Yeah.
The first one was
I would say good.
Yeah.
But
like when Dave's saying classic, I mean, like if it's believed like it's that good, you can't wait for the sequel. And I'm like, yeah.
I will say with time, this is almost 25 years ago when Gladiator came out. There's so much that's happened before. Just based on that, it's going to feel like, the CGI isn't all that good. We're supposed to believe this is a tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was 25 years ago.
Sure. Yeah. No, but I mean, when I saw it, I didn't see it last week. It was when I saw it then. I was like, yeah, it's okay.
I just want to make sure we're talking about the Russell Crowe film and not the adult film, right?
Oh no! Russell, I didn't see the one with Russell Crowe. No, I am talking about that one. Yes.
Mid. Do you know how bad that take? I'm going to tell you guys how bad that take is.
I hurt you with that comment, huh?
Russell in the chat couldn't wait to comment that he agrees with you.
Oh shoot!
But I don't think we're saying that it's mid.
Yeah, I would go above that, but I wouldn't go like
out of 10. What would you say? I'd say 7.5.
I would go 7. I think we lost Dave.
Hey, it's like food. Zebra was in the chat saying squash is better than beets, which I disagree with, but it's
I'm with Zebra.
Oh wow. Talk about a hot take.
Squash is great.
We'll do that on the podcast. I think squash, with the exception of zucchini, is trash, but that's me. Look, I'm not trying to say that it's that it's like Godfather 1 or 2.
I feel like
but
you are.
Golly, you guys. Gladiator, come on. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, father of the general of the foreign legions, and and father to a dead son, husband to a murdered wife, and I shall have my revenge in this life or the next. Come on, it's one of the greatest lines spoken in cinema history. No? Jimon Hansu?
7. By the way, on the agreeing, you say it's like it's a downgrade for me if Russell agrees with me. Russell also agrees with you that beets are better than squash by 1,000.
And I feel now worse about my take. I feel worse about my take. All right, look, that could be the rest of the show. Yeah. We'll see. Gladiator 2, Electric Boogaloo, coming out this November.
All its years.
Jason, lead us off, would you? What do we got?
All right. Yesterday, Monty McNair, DeMar DeRozan, introductory press conference. He's officially a king. DeMar Dave shared with everybody basically about the process, the overall signing process to become a Sacramento King.
Yeah, it was big. I just wanted to come here more so than anything and just check out the facility, meet the staff, meet front office, just kind of get a feel, instead of, just going back and forth, talking with my agent, I just want to get a feel for myself of everything, so I flew here, sat Coach Brown office, we watched a little of the G League game, sat there and talked. De'Aaron came in, we sat there and talked. Doug Christie came in and we sat there and talked. So everybody just kept coming in the room. We just sat there and talked. So, but it was a great feel. Everything was genuine. Everything was real, and everything was about the betterment of how we can make this franchise grow. And I left middle of the day. I just wanted to get it done, and kind of get the relief off my shoulders. And that's what happened. Everything was just genuine from that day. And, we was in the back eating, and all of a sudden I just heard, let's go outside, the fans out there. Next thing you know, when we walked out and got the reception that we got, and that was kind of like the icing on the cake, for me. That just made me feel like I made the right decision.
Yeah, Dave, and a lot of his common thread or through line, I guess, through his press conference was feeling wanted, which I think everybody likes that. Being a part of something that he believes he's a part of. He's not the piece. He's a piece, a big piece of it. And he wants to go where this organization is trying to go. This isn't a well-decorated winning franchise where he's chasing a ring, but he's chasing a ring, but he's trying to get it here and be the first one to get one here with this group. So I like where a lot of his motivation is. It's, look, I like what's going on here. I like the people I talked to. I love the ovation I got after I signed. Let's go to work and let's try to do this together.
Yeah, he's not chasing a ring. He's trying to grab a ring. And I think there's a subtle difference there. He's not joining a super team. He's joining a team that needs somebody to get him over the top. There's a big difference. And by the way, not that I have an issue with somebody necessarily chasing a ring. That's a different topic. But
right.
There's obviously a big difference between Kevin Durant joining a 73-win team or whatever he did, and DeMar DeRozan joining a team that missed the playoffs last year. It is a different situation. I'd love to know what the talk was with Mike Brown. They're watching the G League game. I don't think they were talking about Gladiator. What was it? Were they telling DeMar, this is how you'd fit. This is our offense. This is, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, but it would actually be, I wonder if it would be helpful to show certain highlights, for example, of Harrison Barnes last year and say, this offensively is what we were missing. Here's a play we called for him, or here's a play that he was involved in. And we believe that you would have some advantages on an offensive standpoint or from an offensive standpoint that he did not have. This is going to be your spot. Or was it a Kevin Huerter show where again, they would show DeMar in sets and based on what the Kings did last year versus what they would use him for. So he'd have an understanding as to what the job description exactly was. But it from all intents and purposes, it sounds like his conversations with De'Aaron Fox, his conversations with the owner, and of course, Mike Brown were really what pushed it over the top. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. And here, let's kind of follow up on that, where he talked about playing with his now new teammates. He's excited to be playing with De'Aaron and with Malik.
I mean, it definitely was big, De'Aaron and Malik was, one of the first two people to text me about it. And, just their whole approach, through the text messages, it just felt genuine. It felt the want. And that was the cool part, because at the end of the day, I told De'Aaron, yesterday, I've been a fan of his game since college. Obviously, me being a fan of the game, I pay attention to all these guys. So for them reaching out, hearing their point of view with me coming and how much it could help, not just the team, but them personally, things like that means a lot. From a basketball fit perspective, I always prided myself feeling like I could play with anybody. I try to go out there and make everybody else's job easy. Do whatever it takes to win. I never overly complicate anything. I just really feel like I go out there and play with anybody.
And he's kind of had different roles, like with the Raptors versus Spurs versus Bulls. And I think he's going to have a large role here. And some nights, Dave, I think he's going to be the leading scorer. Other nights, maybe he leads them in assists and free throw. Like he's got a lot of layers to his game. And I hope those all complement, with the guys they got right now.
I haven't looked, and I feel like I should know the answer to this, Jason. Because he got traded from Toronto for Kawhi.
Yeah. So
he wasn't part of that championship team. The Bulls weren't very good. I'm trying to think, what's the best team he's been on?
Probably the Raptor. I mean, when he was with the run the Raptors run, he just kept running into LeBron.
Yeah.
Right. They just couldn't get past him, which, I mean, a lot of people couldn't. I mean, it's like, Jordan kept a lot of people away from getting championships. LeBron did the same, didn't always win all of them, but I mean, he's getting to the finals all the time and keeping a lot of Eastern Conference teams at that time out of the championship.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for him. It's a new start, but also at a point in his career where this very well, if this isn't his final stop, it's close to it. So he's got plenty of motivation. We will take a break. We got a lot more audio for y'all as well. When we get back, though, 6:43, that means, well, a little later than that, we're running late. Safer out. Brian Cashman has joined the road trip for Jason's Yankees and the Giants. Are they showing some life? We do our baseball segment for the day coming up right after this.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
They're going to give it. No, it's a play action. Purdy going to roll left, throw for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. He has the hat trick tonight, a career high. 3 touchdown catches for George. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car really needs a wash.
The $20 McGuire's bundle includes Gold Class Car Wash for a showroom shine.
Get in zone.
And what about my tires?
Just spray the included Hot Shine tire coating and you're all set.
Get in zone.
The inside is not great.
No problem. The quick interior detailer in the bundle can help with that too.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence dyne test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to saclegaldefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
18 number ones.
What was I thinking?
Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee,
I love you just the way
Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITBFest.com.
Brought to you by Bonnie Electrical Heating and Air and the U.S. Marines.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what you doing for Chrysler's Make This the Summer sales event?
Well, this month we have something special that only happens once a year. Big savings on one of America's most capable minivans. Right now you can save up to $17,000 off MSRP on all remaining 23 Chrysler Pacifica hybrids, and that's on all trim.
Now, you said Chrysler Pacifica hybrids. Those things get 82 miles per gallon E with gas prices so high and $17,000 off MSRP. That's a no-brainer.
And a deal like this only happens once a year, so this is the time to take advantage of this savings at the dealership and at the pump.
The savings won't last long. Stop by Hoblet Dodge for a test drive today or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$17,000 total net savings after $7,500 factory rebates and $9,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $7,500 federal EV tax credit offered by a third party and subject to change. Consult a tax professional for details and eligibility. 82 MPGE combined city highway rating based on fueleconomy.gov EPA rating. Send at this net savings while supplies last. See dealer for details.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right. I think Nick Cage is taking his rightful place in the front. By the way, the big boss, when I was talking to him briefly yesterday, he had the show on his television, which I appreciate in the office. I appreciate it when people around the office watch the show and he goes, "What's that pillow? Has that always been there? And why does it have a bloody nose?" So that was kind of an absurd conversation I had.
Nick Cage is the unofficial mascot of the station.
Yeah, I agree. I actually agree with that. And we've had that pillow a long time. Also, I apologize for the streak, which is something I've said to my wife many times, but in this case, I apologize for the streak. I tried to wipe a bug away on my camera with my thumb, which is a super good idea. And the last segment at the end was a little streaky, and podcasters between Chris Guerrero and our guy Ryan, we definitely have some engineers in the building. At least Ryan won some award, right? It wasn't an Oscar, it was something. Emmy? Globey?
Globey. He won a Globey.
What a Globey. Safe or out, question 1.
Yankees GM Brian Cashman has joined the Yankees on the road trip amid current slide. Safe or out, Jason? Yeah-oh.
Yeah-oh. Well, I'll go on his words. He's like, I'll say safe because Dave, his quote was, "Yeah, it's a concern." So if they're internally saying they're concerned, because a lot of times teams will be, everything's fine, nothing to see here, we'll be okay. And they had the best record in baseball, but they've been one of the worst teams now for about 3 weeks.
Not more. One of the.
What?
The worst?
The worst.
No.
For sure. Factually?
No. Factually.
No.
Well, I guess we'll have to see on who's hot and who's not.
Oh, I know which segment to miss.
Wow. I have trouble believing that, and I'm going to have a lot of trouble waiting just under 2 hours to find the answer to that question at 8:44. It has been a rough acting for the New York Yankees over the last couple of weeks. Jason, you watched them. You watched their games. There was a point where it seemed like the Yankees and the Dodgers were on a collision course. The Orioles were fighting to stay relevant in that division, and boy, has that changed. Is there, as a Yankee fan, anything specifically you can point to?
A couple of injuries to the lineup derailed some things for a little while, and then really the pitching hasn't been nearly as good too. Like the pitching at the beginning was way better than a lot of people even thought it would be. So maybe that's regression is maybe closer to what it should be, but the batting averages and the hitting, as good as Judge has been through all of this, he hasn't had as much help. Soto got off to a great start, a couple injuries, and then it just hasn't been as good. But they still have plenty of talent to make it better. It's just they're not playing very well at all.
Well, it's the typical Yankee swoon right before the trade deadline, which gives the impression that they need help. So I'm just wondering which massive small market talent they're going to trade for.
Shohei.
Yeah, they'll probably pick up Shohei, maybe. Well, a small market. So Mike Trout, who's in that tiny market. They'll get Mike Trout, maybe a couple of starting pitchers, and they'll be just fine. Question number 2, please.
The Giants took 3 out of 4 from the Cubs, 2 of 3 from the Dodgers, and 2 of 3 in Atlanta, and have now split their first 4 at Cleveland and at Toronto. Safe or out? This is more than just a blip.
I'm going to say out. It does seem like a blip, and let's combine this kind of with what the Yankees are doing, or more importantly, not doing. The Yankees have lost 7 of their last 10. This is a 162 game baseball season. What happened? Even the A's at one point. I'm old enough to remember when the A's were on a little mini run towards the beginning of the year, and we were having questions in this segment like, are the A's better than we thought they were? And no, the A's are exactly who we thought they were. Yes, every year there's going to be surprises, and the Cleveland Guardians are perhaps the biggest surprise of all so far. But I think the Giants in the end are who we thought they were. Just like the Yankees in the end, I think will be competing for a championship.
Yeah, do you want to take it as a positive? Well, yeah, they're playing better. They're 2.5 out of the wild card. So, okay, that's the good thing. They're playing better. But the negative is, Dave, they're still below 500. They're tied for 3rd in their own division. They're also 2.5 from being the 3rd worst record in the National League. So, it just kind of depends on how you look at it and what's the momentum. Right now, the arrow's pointing up, but is it, with a bullet and they're going way, way up, or is this just a better stretch of baseball when you get into 10, 15 games and, hey, that was a good run? Sure. And then the next 10 or 15, you kind of get back to where you are. It feels like they've been around a 500 team most of the year. That's where they're flirting with now. And at the end, will it be enough to get them in one of those wild card spots?
Question 3.
Speaking of the Giants, safe or out? The return of Blake Snell and Robbie Ray will determine if they make the wild card or not.
I think that is safe, and I should have written that better. The return and performance, obviously, of Snell and Ray. I almost forgot the Giants got Robbie Ray. He's coming off of Tommy John surgery. Blake Snell has obviously not been right this year. He's been terrible, and there's no other way to think other than that injury has been the culprit. Now, if Robbie Ray and Blake Snell are both able to come back in the second half and be Robbie Ray and Blake Snell, this team probably will be a wild card team. I would, if you told me they were going to pitch how they've pitched recently when healthy, I'd say, yeah, that's 2 frontline world-class starters, especially Blake Snell, to go with Logan Webb, who, as usual, is just killing it. Now all of a sudden you have 3 lights out starters going at the top of your rotation. That takes all kinds of pressure off the rest of that rotation, and everybody benefits, including the hitters. So yeah, I think if they come back and they perform, I think this team will actually be a wild card team. That's a big if.
Yeah, that's safe to me as well. I mean, if you get the Cy Young form, 2 of them for Blake Snell, 1 for Robbie Ray, I mean, that's 3 Cy Youngs amongst the 2. I don't know that either one will get to that form, but they've got that ability. So if they perform, like you said, to their abilities, that will surely dictate. You got to believe Logan Webb playing the All-Star, if the bats, which have been better lately, continue. That'll be the best version of the Giants, and I think that's their path to have a better second half, to get into the wild card race. And then, honestly, I mean, if you want to think hot pie in the sky and best case scenario day for the Giants, let's say they just get in and you get Snell, Ray, and Logan Webb pitching well. And if they could get to a series, they actually could be dangerous if all those guys were on. That's what you want. But, that's a lot of ifs right there.
No, to your point, if I'm Farhan Zaidi, first off, I'm not good at my job, but if I was in that position, and that Snell and Ray are going to come back and do well, you're picking up a hitter or two at the trade deadline, and then you really, to your point, could make some noise if that offense can get it together. And you add those pitchers, you're right. In short series like that, the Giants could legitimately make some noise. We'll take a break. When we come back, top of the hour one in the books. We've got more from DeMar DeRozan and Monty McNair from their presser yesterday. Still a lot to come with that and so much more. So sit back, relax, right here. Sac Sports. But first, let me tell you about my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. You know, I'm up here in the mountain, but just to give you an idea of how cool these folks are, it was Valley G right about a year ago now. Although it is cooler up here, it still can get up into the high 90s and low 100s at the worst. And the AC went out up here. And even though it's Fly Park, Hall of Crimes, didn't matter. Called American Energy, regular line, talked to the very nice person that answered the phone, explained the issue. And actually, in that case, later that day, the gentleman who came up here was on his way home. They actually had one of their techs who lived a little bit north of here. And he after all his regular work was done for the day that was scheduled, he came by here, found out that it was a couple of fuses that blew, happened to have them on his truck. And what I thought at worst could be having to do a brand new HVAC system, ended up being a relatively low priced repair, and the AC was back on by late afternoon. And I already explained to you at my house down there, went out on 4th of July. And they were out there at 10 a.m. the very next day. It's just so cool to really have that in your back pocket as a consumer, where you know these guys are local. You know they've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. And with how hot it gets, the last thing you want is your AC to go out. They will take care of you. They will take care of you cheaply, and they will take care of you quickly. 916-520-9990. That's 916-920-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. We will take a break. When we come back, DeMar DeRozan, Monty McNair, more sound from Golden One Center coming up right after this.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
That likes to move around and go. The pain I was in was really excruciating. It was actually debilitating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle. I had really tried everything, but I quickly lost hope with all of the things that we had tried, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water rail.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. We'll take your ratings on the text line at 916-339-1140 or on the chat. First hour ratings, how'd they go? Scale of 1 to 10. Jason, how'd you think the first hour went? We're a quarter through the show.
I'm going to give it, much like Gladiator, a 7.
You know what? If you told me that the first hour of the show would be as good as the movie Gladiator before the show started, I'd have been really happy. But now it's almost like we need to step our game up.
Well, we've already gotten one review, 10 out of 10.
Appreciate that, Ryan. Ryan, by the way, I should get this right. He corrected me earlier. He's a little bit behind. Ryan has never won an Oscar or whatever the hell it was. He was a Motion Picture Sound Editor's Golden Reel. He was nominated for 2 Emmys, never won. And these are his words, not mine. I'm 0-2, an ugly loser resident of small market Sacramento. Wow. Well, 2 words, Ryan. Do better.
Yeah, do better. Also, I forget. I don't know what the also was. So we'll. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I'm sorry. I did want to take a moment and on behalf of Jason and Chris, I wanted to thank everybody. We don't do that enough. I always say that we don't do that enough because it's true. Thank you all for, look, we're in the beginning of July, and obviously we are being aided by a lot of really good news and news in general coming out about the Sacramento Kings. And anytime the Kings are in the news, numbers are going to go up. But my goodness gracious, we were looking at some numbers, Jason. You know about this yesterday, the day before. And we actually have over the last week, we've had more viewers of the broadcast on YouTube than we did the first week the Kings were in the playoffs 2 years ago, which is really a testament not just to the growth of the channel, but also just the passion for the team. And to get that in July, and we don't have I know the bulk of you are listening in your cars or on traditional radio, and we don't get those numbers for a while, but generally they piggyback the numbers we get on YouTube. So seriously, thank you all you have a lot of choices. There's a ton of podcasts. There's all kinds of great Kings content in Sacramento that you have access to. And we really do appreciate you showing up every day and listening, whether it's for 5 minutes or the whole 4 hours. So thank you for that. And thanks to everybody in the chat, the folks, especially that are just here all day, have made it a part of their morning life. It's really cool. And we're incredibly thankful. And to reward you, Jason Ross has gathered on his own quite a bit of sound from yesterday with DeMar DeRozan's visit with the press, and also Monty McNair's visit with the press, Jason. Yeah, let's speaking of Monty, looking nice in the vest yesterday, rocking that one. He talked about, or was asked about, acquiring such a significant name. I mean, a 6-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA, DeMar DeRozan, like we said, on his way. Everybody in the scoring list above him is a Hall of Famer that's eligible. He's on his way there. Let's hear Monty talking about signing and landing that big name.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's, I don't know, for us personally, that's just our job. But I think for the organization, for somebody of DeMar's stature, look, when you're a free agent, you get to choose where you go. And for somebody like that to choose our team, I think it just speaks to what we're building here. And, this is a great city. It's a great organization. We have incredible fans. But number one, we've been winning. I think us and Denver, the only two teams that have won 46 or more in the West the last 2 years. It's an incredibly tough West, but hopefully that's part of what DeMar saw here, and that we can have, even bigger dreams in the future.
I think, Dave, we've been talking about that common theme of the two biggest free agents they've signed, their own in Malik Monk and now DeMar DeRozan in the sign and trade. They did choose Sacramento. Malik would have maybe more reasons to, just because he did have experience here, but he also, different maybe than DeMar, had financial opportunities elsewhere, where he chose here and chose early and kind of helped set the roadmap for this offseason. And then DeMar had some other choices too. You heard Miami wasn't really in the front running, LA, both LA teams, and he chose the Kings. So, that is something that has not been common in the previous 39 seasons that I think has been one of the big kind of flashpoints to me in this offseason as two guys picked Sacramento that didn't have to.
It's funny what different people take out of comments like that, because what you just described is fantastic, and you're right about everything you said. My head started buzzing when Monty said, I think it's us and Denver are the only two teams in the West that have won 46 games or more. And by the way, when Monty says something like that, he isn't thinking, he knows it for a fact. He just didn't want to seem presumptuous, but there's no way Monty wouldn't know that. And then you just go back and you look, and it's absolutely right. Remember last year, or should I say the season before last, the top three teams were Denver, Memphis, and Sacramento. And Sacramento had 48 wins, 46 last year, and obviously Memphis did not. I had not thought of that, and I get it. You had a first round playoff exit and a play-in exit. That's the bottom line, but if you'd have told me 2 years ago that Sacramento over the next 2 years would be the second winningest team in the Western Conference, I would have asked you to pass the Dutchie to the left-hand side. And here we are. And there's no reason to think like we can't be there, like by the end of this coming season. Still be second, if not chase Denver down for most wins in the West over 3 years. That's a great track to be on.
It is, and that's why I think I'm going to stick with the point even before the offseason is done and probably before the regular season is done. And when we were talking the other day about where the Kings' floor is, you said they might have raised their floor. I don't even know if they did, and it's not their fault. I think it's the West. Like last year to have, or a 2-year stretch to have the second most wins in the West, and there's one playoff appearance. That tells you about the West. So when anyone says this team is, to me, definitely a top 4 team, I would just push back on that and challenge any team. Like if last year's number 1 was OKC, I would 100% get why everybody would say, oh, they're definitely a top 4. And they very well may be, and they're going to be one of the favorites to be. But I don't know how any of that could be given or promised, because an injury changes things. An injury changed things for lots of teams. It changed things for the Kings. And so I just think it speaks to the West. And if things go right for a team that was out of it last year, I don't see why they couldn't bounce right back. So I think it's that competitive, but I think the Kings have done themselves a favor by making the roster better.
Well, now you got me thinking. So do we look at it as like, oh my God, the Kings have the second most wins in the Western Conference for the last 2 years? That's amazing. Or do we go, the Kings have the second most amount of wins in the Western Conference for the last 2 years, and they made the playoffs once and crashed out in the first round? Are the Kings playoff chokers? 3-9-11.
Yes.
One more before the break.
Sure. Yeah. Let's get another one from Monty, because I know we got a lot more from DeMar later, some one-on-ones that we've got. Monty, I'm glad he was asked about this, because, I thought we did a nice job of paying tribute to your roommate, Harrison Barnes. Monty was asked about his his closing conversation with the Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, obviously Harrison, I think along with De'Aaron, one of the two guys that's been here since I came aboard, and incredible competitor, obviously meant so much to this community. And I think it was fantastic that Harrison got to be a part of the team that broke the playoff drought here, had some incredible moments here in Sac, and he's going to have incredible moments going forward. So we wish him the best, but just obviously an incredible player, even better human, and happy to have crossed paths with him. Wish him the best going forward.
He's fine. I talked to Harrison yesterday, so he's fine. He was asking me about places in San Antonio. So
I think you got two of the good guys too, talking and sharing some secrets, and that's cool.
shockingly, DeMar DeRozan and Harrison Barnes are friends.
Right.
I would have never thought that. And as we go to break, Jason, we mentioned this a little bit yesterday, but I'm obviously, like everybody else, looking forward to this team on the floor and DeMar DeRozan's contributions. But I'm not going to lie. I'm really looking forward to DeMar DeRozan in this community and him being a part of it, and to see his contributions, his interviews after tough losses, after great wins, him lighting the beam. I'm really interested. It's almost like welcoming in like a new family member, just to see how they interact with the community. And I would bet everything that DeMar DeRozan is going to go down as one of the all-time fun Kings we've ever had.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be really great to see. And then just as a player too, right? I mean, all of that. So I think this has been a pretty exciting move, and I know a lot of Kings fans are ready for this season start, just a couple months away.
Just a quick 1-minute break here. When we come back, 3 for Madness. Let's talk about the rest of that Sacramento Kings deal for DeMar DeRozan. And also, what was your favorite thing from yesterday? We'll get to all that right after this.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Debo Samuel.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All righty. Coming up on the program, we're going to obviously have more DeMar DeRozan sound. Sac Republic crashed out of the cup. We have baseball news, and it's not great. Also, in the 743 segment, more bad news for Drake, sports related. He's not having a good time right now. And we're going to get to something we didn't get to yesterday. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do some on-air producing here. Chris, I'm sending you a link. You're going to know when to cue it to. But we've been looking for Novak Djokovic, his conversation with fans, let's say, after his recent Wimbledon victory in his match. And he was getting booed pretty hard. And what happened is that made the rounds yesterday. We were going to play it, didn't have time. And then it got scrubbed from the internet for rights issues. So Chris and I have been searching for it. Chris, I went to the Wimbledon YouTube and shockingly.
Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, same here. That's kind of dumb. So you've got that in your text. So we'll have that in about 30 minutes for you. Not just him getting booed, but then the follow-up yesterday, which was his interview with the BBC that lasted, I think, 3 questions. So we'll get to that later. Right now, 3 for Madness. Question 1.
The Kings have a pick swap with the Spurs in 2031. Will any current member of the Kings be on the Kings when the pick is swapped with the Spurs?
Do me a favor and switch our out of the way. Thank you. Yeah. So look, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. I know that it is 7 years away. I know that this is one of those nobody wants to talk about it right now. Nobody wants to hear about it right now. We'll cross that bridge and a lot of things can change. But I will tell you that when I looked at that trade, That's the thing. That is literally the thing that hurt me the most. Harrison Barnes for DeMar DeRozan. Love Harrison. That's a great upgrade. Chris Duarte didn't really fit in here. Wish him all the best. Don't care about the second round pick. But in 2031, in 7 years, if they're still on the team, Fox and Sabonis will either be out of their primes or at the end of their primes. And if you were to schedule, if you were to look at runs for teams, the highs and the lows, that should be on the low end. And longtime Kings fans will remember the J.J. Hickson trade. They will remember when the Kings were hamstrung, because not only what's important to understand, I believe I'm right on this, is not only is it just they didn't trade the pick, it's a pick swap, but I believe that encumbers them from trading that pick. In other words, I don't think they can trade that year's pick because they have to have a pick to swap. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. But what I worry about is that this team, has a decent run, whatever, second round of the playoffs, maybe the third. Okay, great. But then doesn't get them to title town. And then sometime around 2031, when the Spurs are coming off their first or second championship with Victor Wembanyama and the Sacramento Kings win 24 games, that the piper needs to be paid, and they're not going to have this pick. So am I freaking out about it? No, but I'm not looking at it as like, oh, pick swap. Okay, well, let's not even think about that. No, that's something that's going to be in the back of my head.
Yeah, so to think if a player will still be on the team, odds say no. I mean, like people think, oh, that's not that far. Some of these young guys, it's not that far away in a sense. But Dave, I've backtracked it then and went back the equivalent. This was the Kings roster going back the amount of time it would have been. So if we said, asked this question on this date in 2017 and said, who would be on the team in 2024? Here's your answer. Bogdan Bogdanovic, Bruno Caboclo, Vince Carter, Willie Cauley-Stein, Jack Cooley, Nigel Hayes, Buddy Hield, George Hill, Justin Jackson, Costa Koufos, Scalabiciere, Frank Mason III, Yorgos Papagiannis, Zach Randolph, Malachi Richardson, Jakar Sampson, Garrett Temple, and the one name I left out, De'Aaron Fox, who was a rookie.
One guy.
So one guy did. A lot of the players aren't in the league. The turnover is staggering how much it happens. I would say history would suggest that nobody from this squad will be on the team in 2031. That's what it suggests, but I hope some guys are.
If Keegan isn't in 2031, I'm going to do something very bad.
Uh-oh.
What?
Well, you heard that.
I don't know.
Just something.
It'll be something.
And if memory serves correctly, I think that was a 27 or 28 win team that year.
But they tried hard.
So they did their best and they had fun.
Yeah.
I guess my point also would be this. 7 years ago, this team was a 27 win team.
Yeah.
Last year, it was a 46 win team. And the year before, it was a 48 win team. That's the good news. The bad news is that also means you can go from being a 46 win team back to a 27 win team very easily in 7 years. I just don't want to be sitting there in 2031. First off, a heck of a lot older. Secondly, probably beginning to think in the back of my head, well, time's running out for you seeing a title. And then right in the middle of this attempted rebuild, we watch as hold on a second, let me think. As well, you know what? Let's just go with this. As absolutely presumptive lock for a number one pick, DeMar DeRozan Jr. And we get the number one pick in the draft, and San Antonio, who's coming off their championship, grabs it. That's real pain, baby. I don't want to experience that.
Boy, you look ahead. You have a long vision of pain.
Well, there's the other side, Jason, which is we may all be dead in 7 years, and there may not even be an NBA or an Earth.
Okay.
Question 2.
Question 2.
Was that after Keegan was gone and Chris did something really bad?
That's what he did, man. He launched the move.
Yes.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does that pick swap bother you?
Dave's at 11.
If 10 is this is malpractice and I'm freaking out and I'm never going to recover, I don't know. I'll tell you how it's bothering me. I know it's been a while since we were all in high school, but I don't know if you guys ever had a high school project, like you had to read a book or something. And when you, when it's June and you're out of school and you got to read like Dostoevsky or some brick of a book, and you're not thinking about that in June, and you're not thinking about that July 4th, and you might even be thinking about it August 1st. But every once in a while, you'll just be sitting there watching cartoons. And all of a sudden, like, you get a little shiver that goes through your body. You're like, oh, God, I got to read this book. And then finally, you have to read the book and buckle down. And usually it's like 2 days before school starts. It's not bothering me on an hour-to-hour, even daily basis. But I can tell you there will be times when I'm just moseying along, doing my own thing, maybe carrying a knapsack and a fishing pole down to the creek to pull something out. And all of a sudden, I'll just have this existential moment where I stare out into the sky and I go, oh God, we have to swap our 2031 pick. Oh my God, this is going to happen. And it's going to happen. So I'd say a 5, but at times a 10.
Then you go back to playing hacky sack.
Go back to playing hacky sack and I'm fine. And then all of a sudden the sack comes to me and they go, why didn't you kick it? And I'm just staring off into space and I go, 2031 pick swap just hit me, dude.
It's killing me. Let's kick
Killing
it.
me.
I'm at a 1 today, but I feel like with an option to move, right? If some of the scenarios you laid out where whatever the Kings look like then, whatever the Spurs look like then, and it feels like advantage Spurs, that number moves big time. But today, I'm not too worried about tomorrow's problems today, Dave, but maybe I should be. But I'm at a 1 right now with that.
Jason, I feel like this has been an interesting summer for you, and maybe you've always been like this, but it's sticking out to me a little bit. I feel like you have really developed a YOLO outlook on this team. Like, well, we got DeMar DeRozan, but it didn't help our defensive issues. We got better. YOLO. Well, we got that pick swap, but it's not till 2031. YOLO. Like, I feel like you've got the sports car. You know you have enough money to make your payments, but you also know that your job will expire within 5 years. And you're like, I'll deal with it when that happens. I'm driving a sports car.
Am I driving towards the cliff?
Jason, if you really think about it, all of us and everyone listening right now, we're all driving towards the proverbial cliff. Whether
we're most likely closer to our last birthday than our first birthday.
100%. Did you just drop a Toonces?
I did. Thank you for hearing it. YOLO.
Can I just say, Toonces the cat still gets me
every time.
It's
yes.
It's so stupid. But when they go over this, is if you know it, you know it. If you don't, sorry. When they go over it's not just Toonces with his paws on the wheel, and it's not everything else. It's when they go over the cliff and everyone's screaming, and then they show Toonces and he's screaming. I die every time. I lose it, man. I had a cat named Toonces.
No, you didn't.
I 100%.
Wait, was it the cat?
No, I mean, it was gray. It looked like Toonces. We called it Toonces based on the thing. You asked my mom. We had a Toonces. That's a great name for a cat.
It is.
It is
not a great name for a kid. Avery was going to be Toonces. I got overruled. Can you imagine that? That's my kids, Toonces and Mason.
I got to take Toonces and a 3.5-hour drive to camp.
Now
Toonces is driving.
Now our valedictorian, Toonces.
Yeah, but how much fun would we have if every time I brought up my kids, I was like, yeah, Toonces is going to be a senior this year. We'd all laugh.
I mean, you would have how many pictures of her behind the wheel when she's a baby?
100,000.
Daddy-daughter dance. Let's welcome out to the stage on her big day, Toonces and her father, Dave.
David Toonces take the floor. Only slow dancing, though.
Here is her brother.
Having a seizure?
Here is her brother, Caveman Lawyer.
And their pet, Happy Fun Ball.
Hey, do not stare directly at Happy Fun Ball. Why am I thinking, what was Phil Hartman's character when they were doing the Christmas carols? He was like, oh, it's Frankenstein. I'm sorry, you got me. We'll take a break. I'm when we come back, we'll get it together. You got me with, see, I told you, Tunes just sends me into a tailspin, man. The Sac, great segue into this next segment. We're dealing with serious stuff. The Sac Republic lose, Chris Paul speaks, and other stuff that I won't mention right now because it's not a good segue. We'll get back right after this.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
Or being a dog person and a cat person.
Who wants a treat? Who's a good boy?
Or like being an extrovert and an introvert.
This is so fun! I can't wait to go home!
At T-Mobile, you don't have to choose. You can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how much you can save with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, we'll pay off your locked AT&T phone up to $650, and you'll get a new 5G phone for free.
Pay off via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Free phone up to $830 via 24 monthly bill credits with qualifying plan and credit, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling to continue bill credits or they stop and required finance agreement balance is due. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See T-Mobile.com.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of innovative, newly designed tires, like the Bigfoot on the road in any weather, with every set backed by our Protect Plus warranty.
And right now, get $80 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Now through July 28th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. No carry-outs, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spas' Sizzlin' Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzlin' Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
No rush, Chris, but I just sent you a couple of things. Been watching the off-season Hard Knocks with the Giants a little bit here and there. And I sent Chris a couple of clips. Just let me know whenever they're ready later in the show of their head coach, Brian Daboll, going, Drake May is one of them, and it's slipping my mind. Jaden Daniels. Couple of QB prospects, and they're in the meeting room, and Daboll's going over like different plays, spider 2, Y banana, blah, blah, blah. And they've got a whiteboard up there, and they're testing the quarterback's memory and ability to call these plays. And I just want to say again that one of the most interesting, intriguing things to me about sports, and those who listen to this show long enough know that there are certain rabbit holes I love to go down, whether it's the way basketball media works, Ben Simmons, play-by-play voices, letting it breathe. And the other one is just I'm so fascinated by football and how incredibly intelligent. I grew up watching football from a surface point of view and thinking like this is like modern day gladiators. They're just crashing into each other. And, baseball is a, you gotta think for baseball, and football is just a bunch of big dummies crashing into each other. And the older I got, and the more access you get, and then you play, the more I realized the playbooks for football, the memories these guys have to have, and especially at the quarterback position, the terminology, and the fact, Jason, we've talked about this before, the vast gap, whether it's people that work in media or your everyday fan, the vast gap in knowledge. There's the people like me that watch football and love football and know a ton about football, but you give me a playbook, you ask me to call out formations and coverages. Now you can do that. You've been doing play-by-play forever, but you're a hell of a lot better at it than I am. But to be able to understand, not just the stuff like what's a cover 2, what's a cover 4, what's a 46 bear, what's a this, what's a that, what's power right, understanding all of that. And then when you really get deep in the terminology, which is why every year I say this, and I think this year we'll do it, we'll get Sean Salisbury maybe to help us out and double up. I've always wanted to do a football 101. And we did this with Joe Theismann about 10 years ago, where he'd come on. And every time he would give us a play, and it would be, X, Y, Z, left, right, slants, top, banana, LMNOP. And then he'd break down why it wasn't just gibberish. Every single thing mattered. And watching Dayball do this is pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I was reflecting on a couple different times with maybe my connections and stuff with Sac State football and talking to different coaches over the years. And really the last couple of under, when Troy Taylor was there now and Andy Thompson, this group, getting more and more into the weeds and the minutia of some of the stuff that they do sometimes. And I might even comment, oh man, how about that pass in the third quarter, that throw, Dave caught the touchdown. It was open. What a play. He's like, yes, but Chris, it was intended for Chris. Like Chris was open. I'm like, yeah, but Dave caught a touchdown. And it's almost like they're happy with the result, but that wasn't what was the target, or that wasn't the play. And you're like, wow. Like sometimes there's so many things like, yeah, the safety still, like the result was good, but the intention of the player, the design was for something else. And you just go, man, there's just sometimes things can even work, and maybe coaches aren't fully, I wouldn't say pleased, but like, that's not the design of the play, and that's just crazy.
Just understanding, to your point, as a quarterback, for example, you have the offensive linemen pulling a certain way. You have your running backs having blocking assignments and or tight ends or whoever, and you have 3, maybe 4 different receivers, including perhaps a tight end, that are all going in different directions, all being covered. In the meantime, you have 6'6", 300-pound people coming at you full speed. And there are those that say that hitting a baseball in sports is the toughest thing to do. And I understand that. And by the way, that might be the right answer. But for my money, being an NFL quarterback and moving through your progressions full time or real time. And I always go back to the old clip, Jason, of I think it was on an NFL pregame show. And one of the analysts was pointing out it was Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning on the Colts. And it was about a 40-yard through the air completion to Marvin Harrison. And they stopped the play. They were doing, a replay, and they had the telestrator out, and they stopped the play. And Marvin Harrison was on the right hash mark, and he was looking to his right. He was running out towards the right sideline, right around the hash mark. And Peyton Manning threw the ball just outside the left hash. While Marvin and they showed when they stopped the film that when Peyton Manning released the ball, not only was Marvin Harrison on the right side of the field, he was running towards just outside the sideline on the right side. And Peyton threw it outside the left hash. And then Harrison immediately, as soon as the ball was released, with his back to Peyton Manning, broke left, lost his guy, crossed the field, and the ball was at his hands in perfect timing. And to me, that's inhuman. I don't understand that. And that's just a level of athleticism and knowledge I just absolutely, I can't fathom.
Yeah, so. I mean, it really is amazing that people can even execute plays. And you're talking about then the guys that are running after you, the big 6'6". I still love it. I think it was last season. We had the audio we played a couple times. It was Geno Smith being all of us when like the seas parted and Aaron Donald was running up the middle. Remember that play? And he's just like, oh my God! And he just chucked the ball into the ground. But I was like, that's how I would play quarterback. And this is a guy that's a veteran that's been hit by him before. But it was just an authentic, real answer. Like, I'm about to die. And that was so great. It was like, that's real. That's not, any kind of just stage thing. It was like, this is my worst nightmare and I'm getting rid of the football.
Or the photo of the still shot of Giants quarterback Daniel Jones. And it looked like he'd just done an entire bag of meth. His eyes were that big when he was staring across the Niners line.
Yeah,
I can't imagine. All right, Chris has these clips real quick. Here is let's start with the Jaden Daniels one. This is Brian Daboll putting Jaden Daniels to the test at the combine.
Hey Jay, erase that Z, make him the F. Erase the X and make him the Z. Erase the W, make him the X. Erase the T and make him the H. Ready?
Yep.
Gun trolley right, 64 house X in. Give it back to me. Nope, don't look at it.
Oh, you want me?
Give it back to me how we call it.
The whole play?
Yeah.
Gun trolley right, house F in.
Okay, X in.
X in.
That's okay. And then if it's cover one, what do we want you to do? Probably.
Throw a touchdown.
All right, I like that answer.
And then we'll follow it up real quick. Here's Drake May, same thing at the combine with Brian Daboll.
Gundolphin right.
Gundolphin right, 72, Tundra, float, H angle.
Gundolphin right, 72, Tundra, float, H angle.
Yeah, so Tundra stands for what?
200s.
200s, and what does float stand for?
It's got the corner of the owl.
Flag. We call it a flag, so okay. I mean, we end up saying corner flag, but it's flag. So flag, and the angle is an angle. You got me on that?
Easy stuff.
Then you use Rita to the right, Linda to the left. It was a flip formation. Good?
Rita to the right, Linda to the left.
72, 5-man protection, slide to the will. So if the strength of the formation is right, what formation is that again?
Yeah, Gundolphin right.
Yeah, right. He's there. The will's over there. The line would slide there. We'd say 72 Rita.
72 Rita. Gotcha.
So let's say this before you go to the next one.
Gundolphin right.
Yeah. Okay. First off, I got really excited when I first saw that clip because I thought the play was Gandalf right. But no, it's not. I played quarterback, Jason, and the way I called plays
was this Tecmo?
We were about 8 years old. I was playing quarterback for a minute. You get in the dirt and you use your finger and you say, Billy, you go here, and Johnny, you go there, and you just draw a line. And that's what I think play call. That's the extent of my play calling intelligence.
Wow. Yours was way more detailed. I was like, dude, get open. I'll find you. That was my get open.
Get to where you need to be, and the ball will be there.
I've got it. I put it.
They used to call Jason Johnny Utah.
Yeah. I could put it on a line in their hands. Let's go. Get open, Dave. Chris can't guard you. Get open.
Chris can't guard me.
Oh boy.
Chris would always hold.
Oh, yeah, very handsy.
All right,
it's like in the game.
Actually, that would actually be funny. It'd be probably bad news for all of us if we try to do, like an all-time quarterback with all of us going one-on-one. One's the DB, one's the receiver. How many muscles do we pull?
How many ACLs get shredded?
Yes, for real. How and how out of breath are all of we at the end? Well, the other day I grabbed a coffee mug to put in the dishwasher, and I feel like I sprained the thing between my thumb and my finger, and I just grabbed it to go put it in the dishwasher. I spent the rest of the day wondering if I'm getting arthritis, and I was fine, but that's kind of where we're at now. Sprained my thumb doing the dishes. We'll take a break. That last segment brought to you by ADD. When we come back, we'll clean everything up that we teased you on. Sac Republic, Chris Paul. We've got Djokovic sound. Argentina attacks Drake. That's Drake the rapper, not Drake the country, and so much more right here on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach. Kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere. Certainly not in California. Not even one piece. Good news? If we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Slash presents Serpent Festival, a celebration of the blues. Friday, July 12th at the venue at Thunder Valley, starring Slash, Warren Haynes Band,
Beautifully broken.
Samantha Fish,
Y'all guesses like a death wish.
and Eric Gales.
It's gonna be a steep climb.
Don't miss an all-star night of blues, Friday, July 12th at the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Serpent Festival.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
They are nothing like us. Welcome back. We drive towards hour number 2. Sacramento Republic 2-1 lose. They crash out of the cup. Lamar Hunt Open Cup at home, Heart Health Park last night. Great match, great crowd. Just 2-0 Sounders. going into half, and Republic scored coming out of the half fairly quickly. Did not have enough, though, to get over the top, and they now focus on the regular season and trying to get that title there. So that is unfortunate for our good friends over there, but we'll continue to monitor them, and hopefully they're able to lift that USL trophy later on this season. Also, news just breaking while we were at break. Kawhi Leonard is pulling out of the Olympics, and it sounds like Derek White may very well be the guy, Jason, to be tapped. And got to be honest, I don't know that anybody's had a, considering where they were and where they are, I don't know. It'd be tough to find too many people in sports that have had a better year than Derek White.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the impact he had for the Celtics, getting a title, if he does truly be the one that's replacing Kawhi, he has a really good chance at a gold medal and got a good payday too. So yeah, he's had a good year. And then the kind of, I don't know why for Kawhi here, but I mean, injuries have been a big part of his last, 5 to 7 years or so.
Derek White has played 8 seasons in the NBA. And his first 2, he averaged 3 points and then 10 points. He's, been in the low double digits since, and his numbers don't jump, 15 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. He's a 90% free throw shooter. His slashes are 46, 40, and 90, which is pretty damn good. But it also does all the little things that you ask for, and was a massive part of that Boston championship. And as you said, he got rewarded with quite the contract, a 4-year deal, $126 million, all but 118, or all but 7 of that, is guaranteed. So good for him. Also, something interesting. I read this yesterday. Did you know that the Kings, I think, are one of just a single-digit amount of teams that now have 3 players in the top 50. To give you an idea, the only one with more is the Boston Celtics with 5. But now that they've added DeMar DeRozan to Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, saw this yesterday, they have 3, and all of those teams made the playoffs last year and did some damage for the most part. So, hey, if you're going by that, should be a good year for the Kings, Jason.
I'm hoping so. I'm looking forward to that. That's for sure. I mean, again, adding more talent. I think that's been the universal thought is talent-wise, they got better. Now, the fit and defense and some of the other questions are more than fair to ask. And that's kind of a wait and see, right? To see how it all comes together.
Our next story is one we're just going to get into and get out of because there's no good segue in, and there's sure as hell no good segue out. One of the top young talents in all of Major League Baseball, Wander Franco, has been suspended from baseball for quite a few months now as the Dominican Republic and authorities explored allegations that he was guilty of sexual abuse and sexual exploitation against a minor. As we've said from the beginning, and as we always say with things like this, we live in a world of hot take cannons, and certainly nobody ever wants to be associated with this, and it's a very difficult subject to talk about. We always say this: we'll let justice take its course, and we'll save our big sweeping conversations for after that fact. Well, a big step in that journey, if you will, was taken yesterday as authorities in the Dominican Republic have formally charged Franco with sexual abuse and sexual exploitation against a minor. They presented that accusation yesterday. He has been under investigation now for actually 1 year ago today. Is when that was opened. A complaint was filed against him for allegedly having relations with a 14-year-old girl. He was initially accused of commercial sexual exploitation and money laundering, along with the mother of the girl who was facing the same charge. 6 days later, a judge instead switched the accusations to a lesser charge of sexual and psychological abuse. I don't have in front of me what he could be looking at as far as a punishment goes beyond a suspension from baseball. at 23 years old, at 21 years old, he signed an 11-year, $182 million contract extension, just 70 games into his major league career, just to give you an idea of how amazingly talented he is at baseball. But this goes way beyond baseball. Jason, like I said, there's no comment, there's no segue, there's no thought we can have that goes beyond just the explanation of the charges right there. It's just a very unfortunate, sad, and if true, disgusting situation all the way around. So,
yeah,
what are you gonna do? All right, Argentina. We'll just go there. Argentina continues to, it has not been, and I know that many of our listeners are not aware, or at least at best are peripherally aware that of the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef and all that. But Drake has not been having a good time lately. In fact, the diss track "Not Like Us" by Kendrick Lamar, along with the subsequent video, have become the song of the summer, played in clubs everywhere, people screaming at the top of their lungs things that are just not great for Drake. Well, he placed which is not unusual for him. He's been known to bet a little bit on sports. He placed a $300,000 bet on his home country, Canada, to beat Argentina in the tournament going on right now. And after Argentina won, the official account of the Argentina national team played Kendrick Lamar's diss track on their Instagram post and added the song title "Not Like Us" to their post-match graphics. So I don't know what you do there, man, except maybe just sit around and count your hundreds of millions of dollars. Don't think I'm don't cry for me, Argentina, when it comes to Drake, but he's not having a good time, Jason. I don't know. I've never had a diss track put out on me where I couldn't leave the house, and I don't ever want to go through that. So shout out to, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, keep taking the L's, I guess.
Yeah, keep taking the L's. All right, we'll take a break. We've still got that Novak Djokovic sound I want to get to, but when we get back halfway through the program, Brendan Nunes, our Kings insider, sat down with DeMar DeRozan yesterday. Also, Gary Gerald did as well. We have both of those visits between now and 8:30. We'll get to Brendan's visit with new Kings DeMar DeRozan right after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Wednesday. You're out the door to a comfortable start thanks to that Delta breeze. Look for temperatures in the 60s. Take advantage of the morning when it's comfortable. It's going to be hot this afternoon as that breeze dies down. Look for highs in the range of 106 to 108. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $59. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Whitey here reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Quick Quack Car Wash takes the drama out of keeping your car clean.
Let's wash the car. Don't spray the hose inside the car.
Our convenient wash packages make it easy to get your car soaked, scrubbed, and on your way. Protect your car from sun, rain, and pollen with a ceramic duck wash, and get our in-wash light show and an unbeatable clean.
Oh, the kids filled the gas tank with water.
Of course they did. Quick Quack Car Wash. Come in today and get 25% off any wash.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spa's Sizzlin' Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzlin' Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
This segment is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at kiavacaville.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, second half of the program. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Christopher Laud. Couple of things here before we get to DeMar DeRozan sitting down with Brendan Nunes. Jason, number one, with the news that Kawhi Leonard is pulling out of the Olympics, and it sounds like Derek White's going to replace him. I just said how much I love Derek White's year, and I'm split here. On one hand, I think it's fantastic if he gets named. He deserves it. Won a title, got a contract. Have a year for yourself, Derek White. On the other hand, selfishly, I'd love to see Keegan Murray be the replacement. I mean, that's a, he's not Kawhi Leonard, but pretty decent replacement for Kawhi. But then there's another part of me that kind of, we're going to talk a little bit later about a conversation we started yesterday. Is this the greatest Olympic team of all time? We'll do that in an hour. And of course, we all think about the 1992 Dream Team. Does this team meet it or surpass it even? But also, one thing I did love about that team is everybody makes fun of, Christian Laettner being on it. And maybe it should, probably should have been Shaq. I agree with that. But I kind of think it would be cool if the team had at least one non-NBA player on it. And if that were still the rule, I'd love for it to be Cooper. How cool would it be to see Cooper Flagg be on this team? Really see what he can do.
It'd be really cool for Cooper Flagg, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, just from a fan standpoint, acknowledging that we both love Derek White and his story. For me, I'm far more interested in seeing what Cooper Flagg can do. I know what Derek White can do. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, like revisionist history, because I guess that's what it would be. I mean, I remember there was a little bit of controversy. Christian Laettner was a decorated college player and did have an NBA career. It's not like he was a bust. He just didn't have the career that Shaq did. But, you look back on that team and it's like, Isaiah Thomas was left off. Shaquille O'Neal was left off. And you just go, man, like the team didn't need any help. They dominated the world. It was easy. But I don't know. Just in hindsight, it kind of makes you feel like, man, it could have been even a little bit more, I guess, dominant. Maybe that's unfair. They didn't need it, but it just does Laettner feel weird on that team still?
Yes. Acknowledging the fact that he got picked over. Well, that's a conversation as to why he got picked over Shaq, but let's not forget that Christian Laettner was like college's Tim Tebow. And
Absolutely.
What I mean by that, just unbelievably successful in college. But the difference is Laettner, you mentioned his career. It wasn't anything like his college career, but he was an all-star in 1997. He had a decent NBA career. Secondly, because I know we got to get to this interview. I was watching this during the break. I might be the only person in the world here for this, and I hope the Ocho coming up next month adopts this. Maybe they already are, but I am here for the Hobby Horse Championships. Have you seen the clips of these?
Is that where they ride like the fake horse? I don't know any other way to say it.
Yeah, they ride it's like the horses, the like stuffed horse head on a pole, and they're riding it around, but they have to do like actual equestrian where they like go over jumps and do all kinds of stuff. Like, first off, the athleticism necessary for that is underrated. Secondly, it just looks hilarious. And I'm
Are you watching that though for more than 10 minutes?
See, I want to, it's kind of like Cooper Flag on the Olympic team. I want it to happen so I can find the answer to that question.
Yeah.
I feel like I am, but then again, I was super excited for like the tag championships and the Microsoft Excel championship, and those were lame. Those were lame. I admit it. All right. Brendan Nunez is our Sacramento Kings insider, one of our two with Frankie Cardicelli. He sat down. I wonder how that worked. Did they play Duck, Duck, Goose or, Paper, Scissors, Rock or something to see who got this one? Either way, we got it. It's Brendan Nunez sitting down with DeMar DeRozan. Click, click.
I wanted to ask you a little bit. Jay Triano seems like a very loud personality, and I think you had him for your first 2 years, right? Just what is having him around kind of help with this process and your decision of coming over here?
It helped a lot because everywhere he been, I think he was in Charlotte before he came here. Everywhere he been, he will always hold a special part for me because he was my first NBA coach. He was the first person that, I was the only rookie on the team my first year. And I started with all those veterans, times he pushed me, challenged me. All those moments I'll never forget because it was my first. So for it to come full circle and to be right back with him, me trusting his word, him seeing how much I involved over my career, everything just goes hand in hand. So I know he wouldn't tell me nothing wrong. He wouldn't allow me to put myself in any type of position that wasn't beneficial. So his words definitely went a long way.
For sure. And then Anthony Carter was your vet in Toronto?
Yeah, he was my vet.
Okay.
I played with him my second or third year in the league. Yeah.
Okay. What's it like to kind of be full circle with Devin on the team now? You get to kind of swap roles here?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, man. Just to just to show you where the game will take you.
For sure.
And that moment just shows me, how far the game that took me to be able to play with someone's father now, with someone's son. That's the beauty in it, and you got to enjoy it.
For sure. And then more on the basketball side, it's a very equal opportunity offense. You're a guy that seems, like you said, like water, kind of blend into everything. How much do you look at that as a fun system to play in?
I mean, it's not predictable. It's not something you could key on. And when it's that way, all your offensive capabilities going to be able to take over even easier, and especially having so many dynamic players on the team, I don't see how, you could guard, a team like that. And that's something you want to be a part of. So that was a big reason why I chose here.
Yeah. And what about the pace? Like, it seems like I think early when Lonzo was kind of there in Chicago, you guys ran pretty well, but for the most part, you played on slower teams. Is the pace appealing to you here?
Yeah, pace definitely appealing. I mean, that's what the game is kind of, going to these days. You got to be able to keep up. You got to be able to play. And there's going to be times where you got to be able to know how to slow it down and play as well. And I think I could bring both of those facets into play.
For sure. All right, man.
There you go. Quick and good questions, though, right, Brandon? I mean, because, look, we mentioned it earlier, Dave, that DeRozan had, I don't know how many different sit-downs. We got another one coming up. G-Man and him had a conversation. And the fact that you've got so many different types of people coming at you and asking you different things. I thought Brendan hit on some of those notes that maybe he hadn't heard, asking about Jay Triano's influence. And that was a cool read on the story about getting DeMar here. Jay Triano was the first one that met him at the airport, his first coach. And so you got to find all your angles when you're trying to recruit these guys. And I think the Kings obviously did their job to land the big free agent.
I want to underline what you said and slobber on Brandon a little bit, because you're 100% right. He's been asked a ton of questions, and we've heard some of those answers. He had that angle, which was fantastic, and that's good knowledge. Also, my favorite part of that whole interview was him acknowledging Anthony Carter being his vet when DeRozan was a rookie, and that's 100. Let's just end it. That's 100% going to be DeMar DeRozan is going to be Devin Carter's vet. Like that has to happen. If your dad was my vet and now you're a rookie on the team, I'm returning the favor. And oh, by the way, DeMar DeRozan, I'm pretty sure, is on the incredibly short list of people who you want to be somebody's vet. Yes. And it makes me kind of laugh, because how far are we away from I'm laughing because how far are we away from Keegan Murray being somebody's vet, and how is that going to be?
Oh yeah,
that's
exactly.
Be great.
Well, and speaking of Keegan, this also was something else from the press conference yesterday. We mentioned how a lot of different people had a chance to sit and talk to him. Tristy Rodriguez asked DeMar DeRozan about that, Dave, kind of about Keegan and teasing Keegan and his name in the arena, all this kind of stuff. Here's DeMar's reaction to that.
You know, teasing Keegan is a little part of like being his teammate, right? Have you heard that?
Teasing him?
Teasing him, yeah.
What you mean? He like being teased?
De'Aaron and Domas have a little bit of fun with him, and Malik especially.
Really?
Yeah, you haven't heard that?
Nah, I ain't heard that. I ain't heard that one yet.
Well, he's going to learn that one quick. And Keegan's just been that guy, right? And I don't know when he'll evolve out of that guy, because he's played like a guy that doesn't need to be teased anymore, but he does get teased.
He does, but it's a different kind of teasing. It's not like, hey, your hair is silly or whatever. It's, he's so quiet.
It's his personality.
It is. It's the personality, and everybody just trying to, it wouldn't surprise me if there's like a pool going around with the team, like who can get Keegan to either raise his voice or like throw something, or who can actually get Keegan mad,
right?
Which sounds Keegan mad, like mad. You don't want to see Keegan mad. and I just don't even know if that's not like he's never been mad before, but I think Chris Murray would be the expert probably on how to actually. In fact, we ever get a chance to talk to Chris Murray, that's got to be the one question I want to ask him is, what is the most annoying thing to Keegan? Like, what can you do to actually annoy the guy? Not that we'd want to do it, but one of his teammates doing it.
It seems like people want to do it just because they want to see the reaction from him, right? I don't know that they want to do any. Everybody likes him. It's just they want to see if he can get angry like that.
I can't see him getting annoyed.
Me neither.
But again, I go back, Dave, to his first press conference, and again, that took me back when he said he's like, yeah, I used to have an anger problem, and I'm like on the court, like he had issues, and you're going, there's not even a trace of it, like. Usually there's little breadcrumbs out there, right? You're like, ooh, that guy's got like a short fuse. You can see it. You don't even remotely see it.
I actually like this. I've always liked this angle of Keegan Murray's origin story.
Yeah.
Where what if like it was once upon a time, like up until he was like 15, like Keegan had a real anger problem and used to just like punch people, yell, just was absolutely like, and then he had a come to Jesus moment and like did something just really, really, well, I'd say out of character now, but in character back then, and just looked in the mirror and was like, you know what, Keegan Murray, because that's how he'd refer to himself.
Yes, of course.
You know what, Keegan Murray, never again. And on that day, I made a commitment to myself to never, ever again show emotion.
It's either that, like that he was just totally a wild child and just couldn't be reined in, or he actually thinks he had that and he's the exact same. He's like, yeah, or like he would then come on with us and goes, yeah, I got really mad this year at that Utah game. And we were like, wait, what did you do? Oh, I was furious. I went nuts. Didn't you guys see me? No. It's like he doesn't even read his own emotions.
Maybe that part of the origin story. And we should ask a family member this, but maybe what it was was maybe one time in like 5th grade. It was a really terrible call. And Keegan turned to the ref, looked him right in the eyes, and said, "Dang it." And that was enough to really teach him a lesson that there's there's no room for "dang it."
Yes.
The ref just lost it on him. We don't use that language, sir.
Maybe on his way out after being ejected, he threw in a golly.
Yes.
A double hand wave. Jason, I remember when you threw that double hand wave at our ex-board op, who will go unnamed.
Life-changing.
I remember you and I talking after that show for hours into the night. And you had your feet up on the table.
Yeah, you calmed me down.
You had tears coming down a little bit, anger tears, and I know you were a little embarrassed. And you said, "Never again will I stoop to that level." And to my knowledge, you haven't.
YOLO.
You are radio's Keegan Murray.
It is funny that we were talking about him saying "dang it," because that brought me back to when I was in elementary school, like 1st or 2nd grade. That was a curse word at the school that I went to, and you weren't allowed to say "dang." Because even though that's not a curse word, the Lord knows that what word you really want to use.
Oh.
You can't say "dang," kids.
Nope.
We know what you meant.
Gosh was getting very close.
You're on the thinnest device.
What about friggin'?
Oh, don't even try it.
Is that 5 slaps of the paddle?
I never got the paddle, but kids did get paddled. School doesn't exist anymore.
Wonder why.
Yeah, I can't imagine a situation where a kid gets out of line. And by the way, cue the boomers now to be like, "That's how it should be." Kid gets out of line. "Hey, come here." Like, I can't imagine Mason coming home from school one day and like, "What's wrong, buddy?" "I got paddled." What? "Yeah, I got paddled in front of the whole class. Had to drop and grab my knees, and I just got paddled by Mr. Chirac. It was embarrassing." What? But that's how it was. All right. Lastly, Chris Verlaud, question for you. They're both sitting side by side in a room, and things are being done specifically to trigger them. Who loses their temper first, Keegan Murray or Jason Ross?
Jason.
I agree. Okay. All right. Lastly, they're all 3 sitting next to each other, and same situation. I want you to give me the order of first to lose it and last to lose it. Keegan Murray, Jason Ross, Gary Gerald.
Gary, Jason, Keegan.
The mercurial Gary Gerald loses it first?
Yeah.
That's true, because we've seen him lose it before. We've seen him.
He loses it on me
all the time.
He strikes Jason.
Yeah, and then I go
what
crazy.
am I doing in this room?
And then I lose it on Keegan, and he does nothing.
It's just the journey to get there for Keegan, from a guy who's self-proclaimed had anger issues to where he is right now. Whatever that journey is, I got to imagine it would have been a lot easier had he been in a Ram truck. And I got to tell you, Hoblet has it. If you need a car under $20,000, Hoblet has it. You can save up to $15,500 off MSRP on select new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn and Laramie Hemi 4x4s. Hey, no payments for 90 days. It has 3 months, kids, and there's over 400 Rams available. You can save up to $17,000 off MSRP on those new 2023 Chrysler Pacifica hybrids with all the trim level. All right, this is different at Hoblet from big city auto mall dealers. There's no dealer markups. There's no sleazy sales guys. There's no add-ons. There's no surprise fees. And if you get a hybrid, one of the new plug-in hybrids, you can take advantage of federal and state rebates right now. See Hoblet's true pricing at HobletDodge.com. The price you see, the price you pay. No hidden add-on or surprise. The most trusted dealer in California for a reason. The J.D. Power Customer First Dealership since 2019. First select and save at HobletDodge.com. No hassle, no pressure ever. Dealership, go to Hoblet right now and you tell them, yeah, good buddy, Carmichael Dave sent you. All right, DeMar DeRozan speaks. And this time he speaks to the aforementioned mercurial Gary Gerald. We'll talk to him about this. And also, what kind of effect does DeMar DeRozan signing with the Kings have on the Lakers? Somebody figured out how to make that leap. We'll tell you about it right after this. 30 seconds.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Well, the most surprising chat comment of the day goes to Zebra. Zebra is one of the nicest people. Definitely, I don't know how to describe it. Didn't expect this. Zebra. Say what you want. The threat of beatings kept kids in the kid lane. I didn't see it.
There's something to be said for that, maybe.
I will never forget. It was media day. Remember, my daughter was born October 5th. It was media day. And this is on record. I played it on the show, so it's fair. Media day. And Reggie Theus was the head coach. My daughter had been born the day before, and it was October 6th. And I was at media day getting sound. I talked to Reggie. I think that was his first year as coach, if I remember correctly. Maybe not. And I said, hey, Reggie, just had my first kid yesterday. Oh, congratulations. As a father, do you have any advice? Well, Chris, you might remember this. Reggie just looks at me and goes, you gotta beat them once. And I go, huh?
Oh.
And he goes, they gotta be old enough so they can remember, but young enough so you get it out of the way. And you just gotta give them a good whooping one time, because for the rest of their lives, the threat and memory of that whooping will save you so much hassle and them so much misbehaving. And so I went home and I did it, but then apparently a day old is way too young. I just didn't expect that out of old Reggie Theus.
I do not remember that.
You don't remember us playing that?
No.
Weren't you and I working together when Avery was born? I thought we were.
Yeah, but I was still an intern, so like I was probably like 3 days a week.
Yeah, that was
it was an off day.
That was an off day. DeMar DeRozan made his rounds yesterday. We played his conversation with Brendan Nunez. Here is his conversation with our very own voice of the Kings, Gary Gerald.
Well, without question, a delight to be able to sit down for at least a couple of minutes here with DeMar DeRozan. And I'm curious about this whole process in coming to Sacramento. What was the most influential aspect of making your decision to join the Kings?
I mean, the direction that you see them clearly going in, and that's to compete and win at the highest level. You know, I've been a fan of watching them over the last couple of years, the excitement that you see from the outside looking in, whether if it's the fans, whether if it's the style of play, whether it's Coach Brown, you know, his passion that you see on the side and things he approached to the game. You know, it's amazing. It's clearly shows you the passion of them just trying to compete at a high level and, you know, really try to play for something bigger than just the playoffs.
Over the course of your career, you have done this 2 or 3 different times, going to a different organization. What's the biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge is just relearning new people. You know, I think more so than anything, that's just the biggest challenge, you know, because stuff on the court, you prepare for that, but just relearning new people, that's kind of like the biggest challenge, because over the years you create a bond and a brotherhood with so many people, whether if it's on the court or you work with or an organization, you know, then when you leave from that, you kind of got to start over and meet new people.
In listening to you talk with the media here just a few minutes ago, obviously the competitive fire still burns very, very bright. How much pride do you take in that?
Man, I take so much pride in it because, one, I always tell myself I never wanted to cheat the game. I wanted to get a game everything I have until, it's time to walk away from the game. So I won't regret anything when you think about the game. I was raised from the old school ways of loving and appreciation of the game. So I carry that on my sleeves.
What was it like when you walked out on the floor the other night in the California Classic and got that amazing reception?
It kind of shocked me a little bit because I wasn't expecting it that way. As soon as you walked out, you felt it. You felt that aura of the fans, the passion, the love, the appreciation, and it was just, I hadn't even signed yet. So it just showed you how in tune and how much they even just wanted me to come here. So me walking out and getting that reception was amazing.
Quick thought about what you'll be doing between now and the official start of training camp.
Working my butt off. 1,000% working my butt off.
And has that ever changed in your career?
Nah, but you always find that extra spark or that fire you need to kind of give you that extra push. And I think, I got that all over again.
And the one thing that I'm going to tell you right now that I'm looking forward to is the first time you put your hand on the magic button and light the beam.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure it'll be a big smile, big laugh on me just because, I know all about the beam.
Yeah. Well, we welcome you, and it's such a pleasure and a treat, and I hope the marriage is a successful long run here in Sacramento.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Let's get him to that beam, Dave. Means he's had a good game, means the Kings won. We all like the beam. DeMar's a fan of the beam. He's got to light that thing.
First home win, DeMar's lighting the beam. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Quick thought, because we got a break here.
Yeah.
Everybody DeMar did every interview asked of him, and each one was around 4 minutes, somewhere, give or take. Do you think a Kings official gave Gary Gerald the wrap-up sign?
Yes.
That's ballsy, man.
I know, because the only reason I say yes, I was not there for that in press conference yesterday, but I can say that happens at the home games when, after the game, someone's lighting the beam, talking to Moke, someone's on TV, someone's with us on the radio. A lot of times it's, hey, wrap it up. But, it's in their defense, it's a little easier. They're down on the court. We're up on the concourse. Right. And, they're not looking at him in the eye and going, hey, wrap it up. No one does that to G-Man.
I was going to say, Gary Gerald gives the wrap-up sign.
Exactly. I do want to throw one other thing in here. I think you mentioned this earlier, Dave. Or Sean Cunningham had a chance to talk to him as well and talked about DeRozan and Kendrick Lamar, right? That connection. I think people may want to hear that. Here's that brief interaction.
And as a fan of Kendrick Lamar myself, it's cool to see you in that video. How did that come about? And does that mean they can't play Drake in this building anymore?
I mean, you love Drake. You always could play him. Kendrick been a friend of mine, family, damn near family. For a long time, for a while. We from the same city, grew up damn near in the same neighborhood. So it's always been there. It haven't always been publicized, but that's basically family.
Is he going to be at a game?
Yeah. I remember when I told you why he was going to be at a game?
Yes.
He's going to be at a game.
Okay.
That might actually be in the contract.
That's okay.
We'll take I love it. We'll take a break. When we come back, how are the Kings going to fill their final roster spots? We'll take a look at the roster as it stands right now, and we'll see if how close that's going to be and what changes are still to come. The only thing missing from this show so far is, I know we have quite the rambunctious group here listening, Jason. Well, what if somebody gets in legal trouble? I personally think we could be doing them a service by letting them know if there's a place they could turn. Is there any chance of that happening between now and 10?
If they listen closely, I will help them out here very shortly.
Wow, coincidentally during this break?
Yeah.
Hey, stay tuned. All that coming up right after this.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Hey, you're in luck. I am here to tell you about someone that can help you out at saclegaldefense.com. That's the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. I've been talking to you about him for a while, gotten to know him. He's right here. He's local. I say he's one of us. He is like us here in Sacramento. And in fact, he welcomed in a new addition the other day. Brand new baby girl named Chloe to his family. So we've got a couple of kids here in town, oftentimes on the boat down on the river. Again, he's a Sacramentan. He wants to do right by you, wants to do right by the community, and certainly by his brand new daughter, Chloe. Welcome, Chloe, to this wonderful world. So, but in this wonderful world, sometimes things happen. Something that maybe you weren't ready for, maybe when you were younger, something that's still following you around that you'd like to get off your record. Well, I'm telling you, Jonathan Gonzalez can help you with that. He does expungements. Maybe there's a auto accident. Those things happen all the time. How about wrongful termination cases? Well, he's there to battle for you. Again, he is here. He's not one of those national lawyers that you see on TV and that's a big face and name on there. And you're like, oh, good, I'll call this number, 1-800 number, and think I'll get to talk to that person. That's just not the way it works. When you call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez, you will eventually get to him and you'll have a chance to go through your situation. And he'll be here to help you, go to bat for you, represent you, and get you on your way, right? That's what you want. So again, go to saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187.
18 number ones. What was I thinking? Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by Bonnie Electrical Heating and Air and the U.S. Marines. Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach. Kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere. Certainly not in California. Not even one piece. Good news? If we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
If you've been on the American River, it's uphill, it's downhill. There's trails everywhere that you can walk, and it just makes you happy. And I couldn't walk, and it was terrible. I was turning into a real crab. I went to the Good Feet store, and I tried on the arch supports. I could not believe that I was not in pain. I can walk, I can run, I can jump, I can do anything. My name's Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Kyle Draper. Equip your staff with top-notch uniforms, professionally cleaned and delivered weekly to your workplace by Alsco Uniforms, proud sponsors of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. Our services include uniforms, towels, floor mats, mops, first aid supplies, and restroom essentials to uphold cleanliness and safety standards in your business. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Visit alsco.com to learn more. Again, visit alsco.com.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
All right, Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave, that's me, Christopher Laud, all the way until 10 when Styles and Watkins take over. Just some programming notes for you to write down so you're not surprised. I'm up the mountain today and tomorrow. I'll be back on Friday. Next week, Jason Ross is taking the week off, and it's the week of the baseball all-star break. And normally I'm off there too, but I will be gone from the 24th of July to the 8th of August, which is, well, actually, technically, what did we figure out, Jason? Technically, I'll be gone from the 24th of July to my first show back will be the 12th of August. Yeah. That's an extended break, so didn't want to take. This is actually the first baseball all-star week I've worked at least in 10 years, and you're going to be gone on the what they say is the most challenging week in sports talk radio. So I'm really hoping something happens next week.
Meaning Kings acquire a player or trade for a player? Yeah.
I don't care at this point what it is, as long as it's a big deal.
You shouldn't say that, because now I'm just going to try and annoy you all week.
Well, I know that, but what specifically? What do you mean?
Oh, like I'm going to really lean into it.
Lean into
annoying
the fact that just because we're going to need content.
Yeah.
Well, the problem here is that, Jason, when you're here, you do a wonderful job of very subtly keeping me on track, which is how it should be. I'm going to have my little runs, but we usually come back to the trunk of the tree. The problem is that Chris, who has worked with me a very long time as well, who also happens to be, this is real, management at the station. But what happens with Chris is that the mischievous, devious side of him outweighs the need for him to do his job. So he will lean into it just because he wants me to go off track and then eventually, get yelled at by somebody.
Yeah, he won't get you back to the tree.
No, he won't. And don't get me wrong. I've actually thought about should we bring in a pinch hitter, maybe have somebody come in, even if it's one person here one day, one person there the next day. But then I thought about it. I'm like, why am I going to ask other people to suffer? Why would I do that to people? That's just so. Next week on the program, it could either be just a horrific week, or it could be a less than horrific week. We will discuss. It's what I consider, Jason, to be the end of the sports year. I've always believed that this week right here is actually the end of the year, and then it's like it's like a TV show that takes a hiatus for the summer. But in our case, you get a 1 week hiatus, which is next week. So technically, we're not going to have any repeats. We're going to all be first runs, and then the new sports year starts when you get back. It's the countdown to training camp for football. Baseball is entering its pennant chase for real, and you could argue some of that happen. A lot of that really technically happens after August 1st, but we'll be heading towards all the good stuff. And then before you know it, Jason, we're getting closer here. It's July 10th right now. In a month, we're going to have training camps open. We're going to have preseason games, the Hall of Fame game I'm super excited about until it actually happens. So I hope you have fun. I hope you have a hell of a vacation, Arnold.
Yeah. Well, can I give you some pushback on the thought? I think it's not inaccurate as far as what it's always been considered the slowest time of the year for sports, because literally, technically on, I think, Monday, and the All-Star game would be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, there are no professional sporting events. There are always things going on, but no, I guess you would consider from the Big Four, hockey, baseball, basketball, or football, regular season games going on. But it's baseball that's not going on. We don't spend a lot of time on baseball. So what's different from next week to this week?
No, you're right. That's a good pushback, because we we spend one segment on baseball unless something crazy happens. So there's no baseball next week, but also no Olympics. Those are coming up.
But you do need a trade. Like there's been NBA free agency news. The Kings obviously made a big news over the weekend. So if something else like that happened, now there's not as many big free agents left, or really there's not any big ones. But if you could get a trade, that could really get something going. Specifically if it was the Kings, but even if it's something of significance from another NBA team, that'd be cool.
Well, we're on the outs because of the Drew Timmy thing, but I don't mind saying I did send a text to Monty McNair a while back saying, look, if you have anything in the hopper, if you could do it at the earliest this coming weekend, if not Monday of next week, I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then we'll have summer league next week, so we can at least kind of talk about that.
Yeah.
Adonis Arms.
Yes.
I don't know if I assume he's down there.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, I know the Kings have two squads. That was the other little bummer about last night. The Kings have had the squad that's been here with like Keon Ellis and some of the other guys that are going to be Colby Jones, Mason Jones, some of the two-way guys that they've already signed, in Isaac Jones and Isaiah Crawford. They all went to San Francisco to play today against the Warriors. So the guys that were in San Francisco in the split squad California Classic were here last night, which was fine, but it was a little different than we had expected.
Well, we've got the rest of this roster to figure out. And by we, I mean Monty McNair. The backcourt, I think, and look, people are always subject to change, but your backcourt, I feel like, is pretty set. Fox, DeRozan, Monk, Herter, Ellis, Colby Jones, McLaughlin, the new addition from Minnesota. And then you got your two ways right now, which looks like Isaac Jones. Isaiah Crawford, who many have said is the best undrafted player picked or taken, I should say, or signed. Isaiah Crawford, Mason Jones.
Yeah.
But you look at the front court, Sabonis, Keegan, Alex Len, Trey Lyles, and Jaden McDaniels, who we don't even know if he's going to be on the roster. And as we've talked about before, there's some balancing that needs to happen.
Yeah, it feels lighter in the front court, but I guess, there's a couple ways to look at it. I think they have 2 roster spots left officially, and I would not be entirely shocked if they added, some version of a front court player, 3, 4, 5, or one of each, somewhere in that realm. But let's just say, I don't know, I'm thinking of someone that's a free agent right now that's on the list. I know that's still injured, but would come back, like Sadiq Bey. Let's just throw that name in there.
Love that.
Yeah, I do too. But let's think real. Like, where does he fit? Or I'm trying to think of someone else, like or Doug McDermott. Some people have talked about Isaiah Stewart from the Pistons. He's been in the Pistons. Would they play? I guess is the question. Like, Sabonis getting the most of the minutes. You're going to play Murray in the front court. Lyles will get his minutes. I don't know where Landon McDaniels will fit in as far as consistent minutes. Are those potential last free agents, mid-level guys signed, going to play? Are they going to be ahead of those guys, or does it have to be like, hey, they're moving a draft pick, maybe some of the guards to get someone that will crack the lineup?
Well, Trey Lyles had a rough year last year, a lot because of injury, and he earned that. We forget he re-signed last summer to a nice, a very very team friendly deal, and we were all very happy about that because he was a huge part of that playoff team. I don't mind Trey Lyles as a backup to Keegan Murray, but when you look at your front line, and I'm not even going to count McDaniels. Your front line consists of Sabonis, Murray, Len, Lyles. That to me it's 4 guys.
Yeah, it's not enough.
But 2 of them are starters, and then you have 1 backup to Sabonis, 1 backup to Murray. Yes, I'm sure there's times when, and we saw that before, where Trey Lyles can play the 5 in smaller lineups. But I personally would love to see them grab somebody in that rotation that would actually be certainly ahead of Alex Len and perhaps even ahead of Trey Lyles. And Beef Stew from Detroit might crack that code. There's a couple others out there. It's funny you mentioned Sadiq Bey, because Sadiq Bey, as we know, is somebody that Monty McNair has inquired on in the past. I think a couple of years ago, the Kings were reported to be looking at him. So I don't know who the answer is, but I would be a little bit surprised if that front line was those 5 guys.
Yeah, I would be too. And like, I guess where I was getting at is, let's just use an example from last year. So if JaVale McGee came back, he's a free agent. They brought him back. Let's just say. There were times where JaVale was in the rotation behind Sabonis. Then it was Alex Len, but it was never really both of them. So it's a little bit of a repeater. You get more size. So if they added someone like that, you go, okay, that makes sense. They added another 7-footer, a wingspan, maybe a rim protector. But will that player play is, I guess, my question. And without knowing who the player is, it's a tough answer. So you could really make the argument. I think Russell did say here, and I do agree with this, like a lot of logic to me means, could they find in a deal like a possible starting 4?
Yeah.
Kuzma, for example, which I'm not sure that's the right fit, but let's just throw him out there. Or Markkanen had been rumored before. I think all those will cost an amount. But if they did that, then I feel like the balance makes a little more sense with Sabonis. We'll throw in Kuzma's name, Murray back to the 3, DeRozan to the 4, Fox starting, Monk off the bench. I think that's probably a version of what might look best for this team. But can you get there?
Well, it's a good question, and it's a question that'll have to be solved between now and October. Also, please don't ever say Russell makes a good point again. We'll take a break. When we come back, if you've been waiting for a couple hours, as I'm sure you have when we made this reference, Christopher Laud has a who's hot, who's not involving the Yankees, and I need to know what it is. We'll also go streaking as well as
maybe the Yankees are hot.
Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. I don't know. Also, I know who's hot and streaking. It's me. We'll see if Chris and Jason can catch up to my massive lead. We'll get to that all right after this.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, even though Brent Rooker was certainly deserving with his 18 homers and 54 RBIs, the A's electric closer Mason Miller is the team's representative in the All-Star game. Now, he joins a list of 5 other Oakland rookies who have been named to the team over the years, names like Wayne Gross, Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Andrew Bailey, and Ryan Cook.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spas Sizzlin' Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzlin' Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here to remind you that the famous Bay Area pizza company Amici's East Coast Pizzeria now has a location in Sacramento, offering takeout and delivery to the greater Sacramento area. You can check out their menu and order online at amicis.com and click on the Sacramento location. And as a special deal, all this week, order any large pizza and get a second pizza of equal or lesser value for half the price. Use code half off at checkout. So when you want a great deal on pizzas this week, use promo code half off at amicis.com, and Amici's delivers.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry are here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call.
At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested, and will greet you with a smile.
They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later.
They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys.
So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
The New York Yankees.
What?
Oh, wait, hold on. No. Oh, I messed it up. Nope, Bobby Witt Jr.
Oh, wow. I'm not even there, and I can see and feel the stare from, hey, Jason, remember your anger management.
See,
like
I told you about
were.
the person most likely to blow up.
Definitely Jason Ross. Just, oh, my God. I'm uncomfortable with the glare Jason's giving you right now. You better clean it up, dude.
Well, let me tell you about Bobby Witt Jr. from the Royals. Last game
please do.
Last game against the Rockies, he went 3 for 5 with a home run and 3 RBIs in the Royals' 10-1 win over Colorado. Witt is the only player in MLB history to record at least 60 home runs, 100 stolen bases, and 25 triples within his first 400 career games.
Wow. I got a feeling he's going to be good. Just a thought. Sorry, I'm just trying to help here. Chris, we're all waiting for it. Nick Cage, Jason Ross, who's not?
The New York Yankees. They've lost 16 of their last 21 games, and according to Yahoo Sports, it is the worst record in the MLB over the last 21 games.
Jason, you have an opportunity here to make fun of Chris for saying the MLB, or are you just going to be angry?
Yeah, I'm just helping myself out.
You just beat up Nicolas Cage. He's got blood coming from his eyes and his nose. If you're watching on the YouTube feed here, my God.
Yeah.
What did Nick Cage do other than make amazing movies like National Treasure 1 and 2 and soon to be 3?
He stole the Declaration of Independence.
That's hot praise.
That's hot praise.
Oh, man. You know what? I was trying to find some other notes to help Chris as well with this. I just Googled
on the Yankees.
Yeah, I just Googled Yankees bad, and I didn't get a lot other than
Fire
Yankees
bad.
Fire bad. By the way, I watched that skit a couple of breaks ago. It was Phil Hartman. As Frankenstein, Kevin Nealon as Tarzan, and John Lovitz as Tonto singing Christmas Carol. Gets me every single time. And the guy that kills it on that is Phil Hartman as Frankenstein, just going the whole time.
He's one that rarely ever broke, but there's one as him as Frankenstein where he cannot stop laughing. That is incredible to see.
If you
Super
find
talented.
it, yeah. Oh gosh, rest in peace, Phil Hartman. My goodness. All right, let's go streaking.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking!
All right,
Real
let's
quick.
recap. Whoop.
Oh, sorry, Jason. That's my fault. I just want to get this out of the way from the text line. 916-339-1140 from the 530. I felt like I was deceived a bit last night. Spent money to take my family, expecting to see the first team because it was listed on the schedule. Disappointing to see the switch up with no communication. I'm split on this. Like, on one hand, I got you. I hear you. I do. You want to see the first team and what? Okay.
The first team of Summer League, by the way.
I mean, that's the other part of me. It's like, it's Summer League. Like, you're not seeing first teams. You're seeing guys that almost certainly will not make the team. And look, if Devin Carter was playing, and that happened, and you didn't get to see Devin Carter, I hear you 100%. But who did you miss last night? Adonis Arms? No disrespect.
No, and he was there, but that's not even the one. Yeah, he was from San Francisco. He came over here, but it wasn't. Yeah, I felt like in last night's game, Dave, there was, and Bob Gerald said this in the broadcast, he's probably right, there might be an NBA player on the floor, and he was on Charlotte. I mean, and no offense, all those guys should keep trying, and maybe it'll work out. It didn't feel like, and maybe Arms could be, but nobody jumped out and you go, that guy definitely should be in this league.
So who? Where was Drew Timme there or not?
No, he and Colby Jones, Mason Jones, Keon Ellis, that whole other group, the two-way guys, all are in San Francisco today to play the Warriors. And apparently, Bajemski, Trace Jackson Davis, those guys are going to play today. So that game's going to have a little pep in San Francisco today. I think the split venue thing, my own opinion, I'm not a fan of it. Because the Lakers could have been here, the Warriors could have been here, and it's just, I think Golden One, it's just been better in Sacramento than it has been in San Francisco.
It's so dumb, dude. And I've looked at the crowds as well. Stop swearing around with the California Classic. And I'm sure it should 100% be here. Nobody cares anywhere else. Here, it's going to seem like a regular season atmosphere. And by the way, I don't blame the Kings for that. I'm sure it's other teams saying, hey, we want the revenue too.
Yeah.
But you know what? Shut up.
Yeah. And just the original plan, again, to reiterate to everybody, it was supposed to be the Kings, the Warriors, the Lakers, the Clippers, and it would rotate from LA to San Francisco or at that time, Oakland, Sacramento. That kind of made sense in the early configuration of the tournament. Clippers have never played in it. Miami's been in it since the beginning. Here's Charlotte. Here's San Antonio. Chinese national team was added this year. It's getting bigger, but this is the place that's been most successful.
That's what I'm saying, dog.
Yeah, me too, dog.
Okay.
All right.
Let's streak.
All right, let's review because Dave has a dominant lead of a 2-game hitting streak. Chris and I are at 0. So let's see if Dave could extend it to 3. Dave took Ozzie Albies of the Atlanta Braves, and good old Ozzie got up 5 times, and Ozzie Albies got a hit.
That's right.
Dave is at 3.
Ozzie Albies. More like Ozzie Al-A's if he had a report card. Because he got a hit, and so he got an A.
How'd you do?
All right.
Oh, yeah, let's ask. How did I do, Dave? Good question. I took with a hitting streak of 0 from the New York Yankees. Chris just went on this whole thing of how cold they are. They're awful. They're not hot. Well, I took Juan Soto, who got up 4 times, and he got me 0 hits.
Oh, jeez. Okay, Chris just texted us saying break quickly. So you better get
sorry.
Not break quickly.
Okay, and then Chris took Jaron Duran, and he got it 4 times, and he got a hit. Chris is at 1.
Oh, wow, Chris, good job. All right, give me Gunnar, what's his face with the
Gunnar Orioles. Henderson?
That guy. Ricky's nephew.
Give me All Rise Aaron Judge.
And I will take Rafael Devers.
Okay, we'll take a break on that note. When we return, top of the hour, we got all kinds of fun stuff for you in the final hour of the program, including next an Olympic team debate. Somebody said the 2024 Olympic team is the best NBA Olympic team of all time. The 92 Dream Team says, hey, what? We'll have that conversation. And also, I got NBA Rookie of the Year odds for you, and you might be surprised who's sitting at number 1. We'll do all that right after this.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family
They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, tell me what's happening for Chrysler's Make This the Summer Sales event.
Everywhere you go, things are getting more expensive, but at Hoblet, we're working to save you as much as we can, which is why right now you can save up to $15,500 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn or Laramie Hemi 4x4s. And we figured why not include no payments for 90 days.
You guys are going all out this month, aren't you?
From the time my grandfather opened the first Hoblet dealership back in 1949, one thing we've strived for is to treat you like family. That's why you'll find the big city selection and savings with over 400 Rams available, but the small town care and attention when you buy from Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,500 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 1500s after 8,500 factory rebates and 7,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 Chrysler Captive bonus cash. Must finance with Chrysler Captive qualify. And 500 first responder cash for current members of eligible First Responder Association. At least 5 of this net savings, sample VIN 190060. See dealer for details.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Slash presents Serpent Festival, a celebration of the blues. Friday, July 12th at the venue at Thunder Valley, starring Slash, Warren Haynes Band, Samantha Fish, and Eric Gales. It's gonna be a steep climb. Don't miss an all-star night of blues, Friday, July 12th at the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Serpent Festival.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, final hour of the program. I have switched angles, Jason, because the sun coming up.
Oh wow!
Behind me was
is that a hammock?
Yes, that is a hammock right behind.
How much use does that hammock get?
I think my cousin used it last week because the hammock pillow was on the table when I got here. I've sat in it once, but I worry about the.
Doesn't sound like you.
Is what?
It doesn't sound like you.
What? Worrying?
Worrying.
This hasn't happened before, and knock on wood, it won't happen at all. But I gotta feel like sitting in a hammock and then having it fall is incredibly painful, and I don't want to experience that. But then again, I guess maybe one side would fall, not the other. But of course, my luck would be the head side, and then you just crash upside down onto the ground. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Didn't know how to add it to that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, Dave, that would be. Let's talk about it. 339-1140. Which side of the hammock would hurt more if you fell on the ground? So yeah, that's a hammock. I'm on another angle here. And hi, hello. How are you? It's Dave. It's Dave. Jason. It's Chris. All the way until 10 a.m. Final hour of the program here. We got a lot for you, including a conversation we had yesterday. Which was, by the way, the Rookie of the Year odds are out. And have you guys seen these?
No.
Okay. Want to take a guess as to who's number one? The favorite as of right now to win the Rookie of the Year.
Ricochet.
Ricochet. Bless you.
Thank you. I just want to say that name.
Christopher.
I will take Sar.
Whoa. Wow, I pulled a Matt Barrows there. I was going to talk and had a little something. Dave? The odds to win Rookie of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, is Zach Edey. He is now the favorite to win the NBA Rookie of the Year, followed by Stephon Castle, Alexander Sarr, Zachary Ricochet, Dalton Knecht, Donovan Clingan. I'm going down and down and down and down the list. To give you an example, Zach Edey is right there at the top. All the way down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th. Devin Carter, which, if you think about it, that's where he was drafted.
Yeah. Okay.
So
right in the right slot.
Yes. You know who is not on here? Jason Ross. Which is strange.
Yeah.
By the way, Bronny James 200-1.
Okay. Not a good bet.
Not a good bet. All right. This year's Olympic team is very good on paper. And by the way, somebody inquired on the text line. We said earlier that Kawhi Leonard is off the Olympic team. He has pulled out. It is official now. Derek White, as we told you earlier, it was rumored. Derek White is now officially the replacement for Kawhi Leonard. So he's having quite the summer. So this year's Olympic team, and maybe this makes a difference in the conversation, Bam Adebayo, Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Halliburton, Jrue Holiday, LeBron James, and Jason Tatum, along with Derek White. And again, some are saying maybe this is the best ever. Well, let's go to the 1992 Olympic team that most say is the greatest of all time. Although Kobe Bryant and LeBron James both said that their 2012 Olympic team would beat the Dream Team. You had Christian Laettner, who was the youngest on the squad. He was still at Duke. A 26-year-old David Robinson, Hall of Famer. 29-year-old Patrick Ewing, Hall of Famer. 35-year-old Larry Bird. As a matter of fact, these are all Hall of Famers, so I'll stop. 35-year-old Larry Bird. 26-year-old Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan was 29. Clyde Drexler, 30. Karl Malone, 28. John Stockton, 30. Chris Mullin, 28. Charles Barkley, 29. Magic Johnson, 32. I would say that with the exception, am I wrong here when I say that with the exception of Larry Bird at 35, maybe Magic Johnson at 32, they were all in their prime.
Yeah, I don't think Bird and Magic were not, but yeah, you're right.
I mean, was Magic out of his prime at 32?
Well, remember, he had not been he came back to play. So to say he's out of his prime, he just wasn't getting the same reps, let's say.
Just so we know also what we're talking about, let me just, before we get to this year's, how about a 29-year-old Tyson Chandler, a 23-year-old Kevin Durant, a 27-year-old LeBron, a 23-year-old Russ Westbrook, Deron Williams at 28. By the way, Deron Williams, a lot of people forgot about him.
Mm-hmm.
He was a hell of a player for a decent chunk of his career. I mean, a phenomenal player. Andre Iguodala, 28, a 33-year-old Kobe Bryant, 23-year-old Kevin Love, 22-year-old James Harden, 27-year-old Chris Paul, a 19-year-old Anthony Davis, then with the Kentucky Wildcats, so he was kind of taking the Christian Laettner role, and a 28-year-old Carmelo Anthony. Now, listen, Tyson Chandler, not a Hall of Famer. A couple of guys on there probably won't be Hall of Famers, and also a 22-year-old James Harden. Can I just say right there that disqualifies him? Yeah. I mean, they were 5-0 in their exhibition games. No, are we throwing them out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. So it comes down to this year's. And again, Adebayo, Booker, Curry, Davis, Durant, Edwards, Embiid, Halliburton, Holiday, James, and Tatum. Now, Jason, I think Booker's going to be a Hall of Famer. Curry's a shoo-in. Anthony Davis will be a Hall of Famer. Bam Adebayo, already a Hall of Famer?
I don't know yet. I would say I'm feeling no, but I feel like he's tracking that.
Durant, first ballot. Anthony Edwards is obviously tracking, but way too early.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid, Hall of Famer. Halliburton, again, tracking. Drew Holiday, Hall of Famer. Yeah, right?
That's interesting. The 2 championships will help. 1 All-Star appearance. I think if he gets a little bit more, maybe, this potential gold medal will help. Yeah, I think so. I think.
Right on the cusp.
Yeah.
I think he will be too.
Yeah.
LeBron James, duh. And then I think Jason Tatum, safe to say. Like I know he's still very young, but geez.
Yeah.
Whereas you have, and by the way, is there anybody on that list? I mean, Holiday's probably the closest where you go, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So you know what I did as an exercise, and in all these debates, there's no right way. Like, you could count MVPs, you could count championships. I think that 92 team is going to win in all those, partly because these careers aren't done, but also that's shows you how good the 92 team was. What I did, Dave, was, and this is probably more unfair to the current group, but I think if we project it this way, let me see if you think this is a fair way to do it. So the NBA, was it a year ago, 2 years ago, did the 75th anniversary team?
Yeah.
So in obviously 20 something years now here, if it's 23 or 24 years, they're going to have the 100-year anniversary team. How many players were on the 75th anniversary team? Of the 92 team, all but 2 players are on the top 75. I'd be curious if you could guess which. I know you'll get one. Yeah, Leitner's not a top 75 player. The second one surprised me a little bit.
Let's see. Robinson, yes. Bird, yes. Pippen, yes. Jordan, yes. Drexler, yes. Malone, yes. Stockton, yes. Barkley, yes. Johnson, yes. Magic. So it's either Chris Mullin or...
No, that's it. You have it. Mullin and Laettner.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I was like, God, could it possibly be Ewing? But no, of course, Ewing's going to be top 75.
So if you extend to 100, sometimes you can add players from, maybe Mullin was 76, 77, so he could get in, but then currently on the present team roster, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are on the top 75 of all time, and they're still active. And that's Curry, KD, LeBron, Kawhi, and Anthony Davis. So they have 5 currently. But what's interesting is, I don't know if this team would be better, but there's 4 players that are Americans that are on the top 75 list that aren't on the Olympic team this year. And that's back to James Harden, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, and Damian Lillard. So if those 4 got pushed in and 4 came out, I wonder if it looks more decorated. I'm not saying the team's better, but it would kind of have that feel of a kind of a legacy legendary team to me.
See, this is where a couple of my worlds crash, because the 1992 Dream Team was so huge for us watching it in real time. But I also kind of have a rule that every 20 years we evolve athletically. And we've talked about this before. You just look at the Olympic records. So we're looking at a team that played, what was this? 92, 02, 12. So this is a 32-year-old team. And the equivalent there would be 1960 to 1992.
Right. What a difference.
By definition, this team would beat the 1992 Olympic team. By definition, if you just look at the evolvement of the human body, medicine, science, and just imagine. Now, there's certain guys that are timeless. Like Michael Jordan is doing just fine.
Absolutely.
But is Larry Bird as good as he was 35. Is John Stockton, is Patrick Ewing, going up against, is Patrick Ewing going up against Joel Embiid and as Patrick Ewing-y as he was back then? Is Anthony Davis just, tooling around the big men? It's a different game. You've got these guys stretching, the big men that are, Joel Embiid just nailing threes. How's Clyde Drexler doing it? It's interesting, but I think, does it make sense to say that I think the 1992 Dream Team is the greatest Olympic team of all time when it comes to the NBA, but they'd lose to this year's Olympic team?
Yeah, and I know what you're saying. I think that's an interesting way to put it, because that is such an incredible layer of talent that was added. And I agree 100%. If those guys were around now and in their prime, Bird would figure it out. Drexler would figure it out. Magic, Jordan, they would all be great. But athletically, physically, it's not like they would get pushed around, but there has been grades of improvement there. And then the other thing, the game is different. And I don't think, okay, Jordan, now are you taking 10 threes a game? Sure, he'd do fine. Like Curry takes threes and deep threes. So would Bird then, and Magic would figure it out. And those Chris Mullin would just shoot from farther out. They would all adapt, but the game does progress. And again, it's not to slight anybody from any other time. They were all the best of their best at their time. And I think this would be the same conversation, Dave, probably in 2056 or whatever it would be, 32 years from now, where you go, LeBron was great, but this guy now, oh my gosh, how would he have done back then?
And that's the other thing. I know we got a break here, but I don't think it's fair. And by the way, you're right, but I don't think it's fair for this conversation to say these guys would adjust. I think it's those guys playing at the level they were playing at then, taken out of time and put in this matrix where that day in 1992, you grab those guys and all their athleticism and knowledge, and you put them against today's guys. Yes, if they played 5 years in the league here, they'd adjust and big guys would be shooting threes and all that. But I think now that team would be more physical. And there's a lot of other things you could say there, but God, I think ultimately I'd put the over under. If it was the 92 Dream Team versus this year's team, I'd say over. I'd probably lay odds at I'd say 2024 8.5.
I'd like to see it.
The line. Not the over under. I think that's what the line would be. I'd love to see it too. That must be what sports heaven's all about. We can finally see all these matchups. We'll take a break. Let's get back to the Kings of today, by the way, and let's also get back to the Olympics of today and talk about Keegan Murray, who has been practicing versus Team USA, and how is this trade going to affect him? We'll look at all that in just 1 minute.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
Going deep down the sideline for Ayuk. He's got it, and he's gone. 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Ayuk is on
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
You don't want to miss the Kia Vacaville Summer Sticker Sales Event. This is your chance to drive home in a brand new Kia with leases starting as low as $169 per month, plus bonus cash. Whether you're eyeing the stylish Kia Soul, the versatile Kia Sportage, the luxurious Telluride, or the efficient Kia Forte, we've got the perfect model to fit your lifestyle and budget. Come into Kia Vacaville today and experience our incredible selection of vehicles, outstanding customer service, and unbeatable deals. Kia Vacaville's friendly and knowledgeable staff are here to help you find your dream car and to make the entire process seamless and enjoyable. Imagine cruising through this summer to Tahoe or the beach in a brand new spacious Kia, making memories with family and friends. Don't wait. These deals won't last long. Visit Kia Vacaville today and turn your dream into reality. Make this summer one to remember with a new Kia from Kia Vacaville. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia Vacaville for more details.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
The Olympic coaches love coaching Keegan Murray, and we're talking about it yesterday. And who wouldn't? You know, Keegan's a coach's dream. You know, he's never going to give you any clap back. He's going to do exactly what he's told. He's incredibly intelligent. Oh, by the way, he's a very good basketball player, Jason. So the experience that Keegan is getting, practicing against Team USA, and really, dare I say, being a guy that I'm sure could fit in seamlessly. You know, DeMar DeRozan talked about, you know, you mentioned the Bruce Lee quote, be like water. That really is Keegan Murray. You can put him at the 3, you could put him at the 4, hell, you could probably put him at the 2 or the 5, and he'd figure out a way to make it work. And whether it's shooting threes, whether it's creating his own shot, which we saw glimpses of last year, and playing that switchable wing defense that is so valuable in the NBA. He fills so many roles and really earns his stripes as being that high of a draft pick a couple years ago. Now the thought is, you know, we've talked a lot about Sabonis and DeRozan and how DeMar is just going to benefit so much playing with the best screener he's ever played with, and playing off DeMontis running the offense. We've talked about De'Aaron Fox and the benefit of having another guy who can create his own shot, who is one of the best shot creators in the entire NBA, which is going to free De'Aaron up to just run all over the place and do his thing. I'm not entirely sure, Jason, that the person that's going to benefit most from this isn't Keegan Murray. And I'll explain briefly why. You know, Keegan, if you just look at his jump last year, he went from 12.2 points to 15.2. That's easy. That's a 3-point jump. If you were to extrapolate that and give him the same jump this year, he's scoring 18 points a game. Same jumps on assists. He's a little over 2. He's a little over 6 boards. And slashing at 45, 36, and 83. By the way, that 83% from the free throw line was up a full 7 points from the year before. And I think in the future, Jason, we're probably going to get very used to seeing 45, 40, 90, and somewhere in that range slashes from Keegan Murray. But now what you have in addition to De'Aaron Fox is DeMar DeRozan, as I mentioned, is you have 2 guys that are best in the business at creating their own shots. Neither of them, although Fox is the better 3-point shooter and very much improved that last year, not just in volume, but overall, is a guy that now has to be respected from beyond the arc. DeMar DeRozan has to also be respected from beyond the arc, but not for his 3-point making ability. It's for his ability to blow by his man and create his own shot under duress. Now, when you have 2 guys that are capable of slashing and just completely blowing up the defense in the paint, now you've got a guy in Keegan Murray who, he can create his own shot. but you're going to have, let's just assume it's still Herter, or even if it's Monk, you're going to have Keegan Murray and Malik Monk or Herter that are just stationed, much like Keegan's rookie year, on the periphery, just waiting for the defense to collapse on Fox or DeRozan. And then those guys are just simply going to either A, take the open shot if they get it, or B, they're going to have the safety valve in a guy like Monk or a guy like Murray, who I think is really going to benefit from getting quite a few wide open 3-point shots. I don't think he's going to break his rookie record of 3-point shots made just because there's so much scoring to go around on this team, but it would not shock me at all. In fact, I would be really shocked if he didn't have the best 3-point percentage of his career, which was 41% his rookie year, fell to 36 last year. I'd be really surprised if he wasn't low to mid 40s this year in efficiency.
Yeah, I agree on that. I think he's going to end up with a lot of good looks, maybe less shot attempts, but the chance to be very efficient. Still a prominent scorer, not the most important scorer, but, a lot of efficient shots. I still want him to work on his, takes to the basket and the ability to get to the line. But I think his role truly is going to be to find what they're going to need from him defensively. And he's going to have to, last year he guarded a lot of different positions, quick guards to bigger guys. He's going to be asked to do a lot there. And so I think he's able to do it. I think, some of the offensive jump may not happen just based on the other options the team has, and that's okay. But I think he's going to be very important to the team, as you said. One thing I did want to ask you about him, which relates to something we've talked about before. I know you weren't always the biggest fan of, let's say, Fox when he was kind of playing in the Olympic group, or Sabonis, who's playing for his, he's going to keep going. Just mileage and potential injury anytime. But I feel like this is such a good opportunity for Keegan. Are they labeled the same for you as like, I guess Keegan can get hurt in any of these practices, or is there too much of a win here for Keegan getting this experience?
The entirety of my, perceived, if you will, negativity towards our players playing the Olympics is incredibly simple. It's being a selfish Kings fan that the more they play, the more mileage there is, the more opportunity there is for injury. That's just for any player. But what a guy like Keegan, much like Fox and Sabonis, is but at this stage in his career, being a third-year guy, what he's picking up in knowledge, the coaches that are coaching him. And you got to remember, a lot of this is going to be behind the scenes. We're not going to be able to point it out on the floor. And he's not playing for the team; he's playing for the select. So he'll be coming home at some point. We don't see when Steve Kerr or one of the other coaches is taking Keegan aside and saying, "Hey, man, have you tried this?" And there's no doubt that between the great coaches that are running the show out there, and even some of his teammates out there that he normally doesn't play with, he's going to come back with a couple extra wrenches in his toolbox for next year. And I think that's incredibly important for a guy like Keegan, who's been scouted now for 2 years. And he, again, showed a little bit of a change last year. I imagine it's going to be, the same for this year. Also, what I really want out of Keegan this year, and I know that it's really tempting to say, we just ran over his points and rebounds and assists and his slashes and all that. But honestly, I think the best thing for the Sacramento Kings this year from Keegan Murray would be if DeMar DeRozan comes in and we go from Harrison Barnes, who averaged, low teens or whatever he did last year, and bringing in a guy like DeMar DeRozan, who had 24 points a game last year. What I'd like to see is remember when I said it was 2 seconds ago that I'd be surprised if Keegan Murray wasn't the most efficient he's ever been from beyond the arc.
Right.
I actually wouldn't mind for his scoring to stay the same or even go down. Here's why.
Yeah.
I think this team would be at its best this year if the pressure if Keegan Murray just sits at the 3-point line the whole time and makes the open shot and then spends his energy on being the all NBA wing defender we think is in there. That's the best Keegan Murray, in my opinion, for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, for the way this roster is constructed, I would agree.
Yes, 100%. All right, we'll take a break. When we return, what to watch? Also, this day in sports history, including the greatest sports bra in history. We'll explain what we mean if you can't figure it out, along with what to watch coming up right after this.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Keep your family cool and comfortable this summer with Bell Brothers' best summer ever financing event. When you replace your AC system, we're offering 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on approved credit, then low fixed rate thereafter. That's right, 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on any new AC system. It's an incredible offer on an incredible new AC system, but only for a limited time. This offer is also available on any plumbing, water heater, or insulation projects over $1,000. So call Bell Brothers now. Your family will thank you, because they'll be cool and comfortable. But you have to hurry. Our offer for 0 payment, 0 interest for 6 months, then low fixed rate thereafter ends soon. Estimates and second opinions are free. So call now to keep your family cool and comfortable during Bell Brothers' best summer ever event. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com. That's theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
To move around and go. The pain I was in was really excruciating. It was actually debilitating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle. I had really tried everything, but I quickly lost hope with all of the things that we had tried, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Quick Quack Car Wash takes the drama out of keeping your car clean.
Let's wash the car. Don't spray the hose inside the car.
Our convenient wash packages make it easy to get your car soaked, scrubbed, and on your way. Protect your car from sun, rain, and pollen with a ceramic duck wash, and get our in-wash light show and an unbeatable clean.
Oh, the kids filled the gas tank with water.
Of course they did. Quick Quack Car Wash. Come in today and get 25% off any wash.
The weather is hot, and so are the deals this month at Premier Pools and Spas Sizzling Summer Sale. If you've been anguishing in the searing Sacramento sun, we're here to help with scorching savings on new pools and pool remodels. After 35 years as the region's top builder, Premier Pools and Spas has the hard-won knowledge and expertise you need to seize your summer. But act fast before these deals melt away on July 20th. It's the Sizzling Summer Sale, only at Premier Pools and Spas. CSLB number 589234.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento summertime heat is back. And of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
Keep on Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, final half hour of the program. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, as the voice guy just said. Stiles Watkins will be in shortly. Let's go to the phone lines, 1-800-920-1140. And our good friend, Steven. Steven, welcome into the program.
Oh, good morning, boys. How you guys doing?
Oh, good morning.
Oh, great. Nice to make it short and sweet. So, dude, this whole DeMar DeRozan thing, man, I haven't checked in with you guys since the signing. So, I mean, let me just get some excitement out of the way. Boy, is this a great signing. And I was wrong about Monty. Monty, I know you're listening. I owe you a big apology, my friend. Okay? I was wrong. I was impatient. I was watching all of these moves go by, just like the rest of all these fans. And I was getting impatient because you were not making any moves. But you had a bigger picture in mind. You were patient, a lot more patient than the rest of us fans. And look what you got us. You got us a 6-time All-Star. I believe this man has an Olympic gold. Does he not? Or do he have an Olympic medal? It doesn't even matter, man. You got us probably one of the most, dude, you got us somebody really, really damn good, dude.
The best things
and
in life,
it really
they
kind of
come in
changes. Oh, they do come in twos. So I just wanted to put that out there, man. I'm extremely excited. I owe Monty a big apology. I was impatient. I was wrong for saying that he always sat on his hands. And man, was this is incredible. This really has got a lot of our fan base just completely re-energized and reinvigorated, even more so. And I am ecstatic. So I'm going to get off the phone now. I love you guys. Thank you guys for your time. And you guys have yourselves a beautiful day and stay cool out there.
Hey, you too, buddy. Thank you as always, Steven.
I think he would accept his apology with a vest.
What was that yesterday, by the way? At this point, it's just a big old bit. Hey, a bunny. Sorry. It's just a bit. Like, sorry, there's a big old bunny that just oh, that's not a bunny, that's a little deer. Sorry. ADD hit me.
How did you confuse those?
Well, because I saw this brown thing through the picket fence hopping, and I was like, oh, bunny. And then I remember I said a big old bunny, but it's almost, I mean, I'm talking like there's a tiny little fawn here. This thing's got to be still suckling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a baby, but it was just kind of hopping through the grass like little bunny foo-foo, but it's a deer. Anyway, why are they doing that? Did you see, if you didn't know better and you saw the picture of DeMar DeRozan and Monty McNair at the podium, it would look like it was February in Milwaukee.
Right.
Like what are they doing here? What are they trying to prove? And then I thought about it and I go, actually, you know what? If you think about it, they probably got in the car and DeRozan's probably at the Sawyer is my guess. And there's a underground walkway from the Sawyer to Golden One Center. So he probably didn't even have to go outside. Then Monty probably gets in the car in his garage. He's kind of nerdy and with it. So he's probably driving some electric car that you can cool down, before you get in. And then he parks underground at Golden One Center and walks right in. So maybe what it is they're just not exposed to the elements. But I got to think when McNair takes that daily walk to Starbucks for his coffee order, he's feeling the heat. It's like, guys, it's 110 degrees. You don't need the vests.
It's his staple. It's his uniform. I mean, we've come to know it, right?
Also, I'd like to say this in all seriousness. I'm a huge fan of Monty's, and when people were getting on him for not making moves, we talked a lot about this. That look at the team now. Look at the team when Monty. We're big Monty defenders. Like, guys, I'd rather have it this way than him rushing and making moves. But now that everyone's celebrating him again. Let me be the contrarian for a second, though.
Oh, great.
I'm just saying, I don't like getting too high or too low unless, there's a solid reason to get too high. There are a ton of great things to say about this. But this team's not done, and this team probably has a ceiling, a pretty significant ceiling. They did not improve defensively, which was their biggest need. If you went into the offseason, Jason, and we did go into the offseason, we talked about what's the biggest need for this team. I'm pretty sure we both agreed that it's defense.
Mm-hmm.
They have not improved. In fact, you can say that Harrison Barnes, though not tipping the world over, is a better defender than DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, let's even call it. I mean, for the sake of argument, let's call it. I'll tell you this much: DeRozan's not going to be getting as many number one defensive assignments this year as Harrison did last year.
No. I would not suggest that at all.
So as it is right now, the biggest need going into the offseason at best has not been addressed, and at worst has gotten slightly worse, putting a perceived ceiling on this team. I love Monty, and I trust in him enough, and Wes, to continue to move towards improving this team. But what I don't want is for us to now start thinking, well, you know what, we're there, and this team's going to be amazing next year. It could be.
Right.
But I don't want people fall. The higher the pedestal, the longer the fall, and the more that it hurts when you hit the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say they're not there, but I would also say, look, it's a lot of the same roster that was here 2 years ago that was not a very good defense, but last year did get to the middle of the pack. The problem is, to me, the offense also got to the middle of the pack. So I think they're going to be better in one area, and I would say that's offensively. But just another year together, I would think would help them communication-wise defensively. And then you just hope guys like now if Ellis gets in the rotation more, if Carter, when healthy, gets in the rotation more, Keegan as a defender and Fox as an improved defender. I think that's the best this group can be, but I still think those other moves hopefully address what you're talking about.
And there are other moves that can be made. We've talked about that as well. Yeah. And you can continue to watch for those moves, which will hopefully come next week when Jason's gone, and so much more right here on Sacktown Sports, not just listening, but also following along. Today, A's, Red Sox, Blue Jays at Giants. Logan Webb from Rockland. Did you know Logan Webb was from Rockland?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's on the bump for the Giants, looking to take the second game of that series and follow up their win yesterday against the Blue Jays. On this day, 5 years ago, Kawhi Leonard signed a 3-year, $103 million deal to leave the Toronto Raptors and join the Los Angeles Clippers. And of course, Kawhi in the news today for pulling himself from the Olympic team. Also on this day in 1999, 25 years ago today, one of the most iconic celebrations ever, the sports bra celebration from Brandi Chastain as she scored the winning goal for Team USA in the World Cup and just went for it. We had a chance to talk to Brandi Chastain a few years ago. She came onto the Sac Republic broadcast maybe about 6-7 years ago and sat with us for a better part of a half. And we talked about that at one point. Said, did you? And the question was, because everyone brings it up, but the question was, did you have any idea? And she said, no, I didn't think about it. I was just what I wanted to do. It was a celebration. I didn't know that would, she said something like, in my obituary, my sports bra is going to be in the first paragraph. That isn't what I had on my bingo card. Never thought of it that way.
Yeah, that's amazing.
One more here, if he's still there before we break. JR.
Oh, he's here.
Oh, good. JR, what's going on, brother?
Hey, do you think they do a Monty Puff Jacket giveaway this year?
They should.
We have talked about this repeatedly, JR. We have pushed this so hard. We try to make money for the King in so many ways. If there is not a Kings branded, which we know exists because he wears it, if there's not a Kings branded Monty McNair puffy vest, and let's be honest, guys, I'm not advocating for this, but we all know the prices in the team store. You could easily put that price point between 85 and 100, and it's gonna come off the shelf.
No, but I was talking about off Temu or something for $4 or $5 and then give it away. But hey, let's talk about Keegan. Yeah. I think you're underestimating Keegan's year. I really think he's going to be the Keegan from the playoff game where we knocked out the Warriors, and I think he's going to be over 20. And you got him, and you get Foxy with around 30, and then we got Dr. Rosen coming in. He's going to get 30. We're looking good. I'm going to be way over optimistic, Dave, and maybe the Heat's getting to the head. But like that last caller, Monty, trusted Monty. He did well. That's a good pickup. Love him. JR, love him.
Let me ask you before you go. I just want to read.
Okay.
This.
I was about to drop the call, but okay, go ahead.
That's all right. Just let me ask you. We got a break, but I'll let you take us to break here. JR, you said you're going to be optimistic, right?
Yes.
What is the virtue of that? Why not just be slightly pessimistic? And
are you ready? I'll give you. Go ahead.
Let me just explain the logic again for those who knew.
Okay.
If you're pessimistic about next year, the worst thing that can happen is that your expectations are met. The best thing that can happen is that your expectations are exceeded and you're over the moon. If you're optimistic,
oh my God,
the best thing that can happen is your expectations are met. And the worst thing that can happen is that you fall so far from that optimistic pedestal you put yourself on that you smash into the ground like my fat ass falling out of this hammock.
Pig pen with the cloud over your head. Stop, okay? The world is a good place, not a bad place. And you might as well be positive. We're fans. We have no reason not to be fans. And guess what? They don't come up with everything you want. So what? Hope is the only thing we got in life, and you got to cherish hope, all right? Do I need to do a shank redemption on you? Because that's the reality, buddy. It's going to be good. Shank shoke? Hey, I was the Japanese version of have hope, be positive. Where's Positive Dave when we need him? Bye-bye.
Never give up, never give in when the Kings have a chance to win. Signed, Positive Dave.
I can't imagine why what would possibly make somebody who's a Kings fan, prep for the worst and hope for the best. By the way, just because you're a pessimist doesn't mean you don't have hope. Why do people think that? I am a pessimist when it comes to this team who perpetually hopes for the best. I just expect the worst. How is that not logical? Why do people have such a brain freeze on that one? I hope as much or more than anyone for the best, and I have joy when it happens, but I'm a little bit more protected when the thing that generally happens. What's wrong with that?
Because you are watching a 20-point fourth quarter lead and going, how are they going to blow this game? You did not enjoy the 20-point lead at any point.
Yeah, and I'm struggling to think here. I don't know how far I have to go back, but I gotta feel like there's been games in the past where the Kings have blown massive leads. Wait, never mind. It happened all year last year.
Every time, though? So when they did win when they were up 20, did you enjoy the game?
When they did win when they were up 20, I really enjoyed the game.
That's where I feel like, in knowing you, I don't feel like you enjoy the wins enough.
I enjoy. Oh, I see what you're saying. Did I enjoy the game? Not as much as I could have. Did I enjoy the outcome? Yes, I did. But I would say this: when they blew those leads, my baby little purple heart in my chest, my King's purple heart, was a little more protected because it's leathery and wrinkled from 40 years of being let down. And Jason, someday when I leave this earth, as they say, I will have them bury me in a Kings logoed coffin so this team can let me down just one last time. We'll take a break.
Sounds great.
Unless it's a good bit. We'll come back with Styles Watkins and a little bit of crosstalk. Celebrity birthdays coming up right after this.
Plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY to learn more.
The Open Championship celebrates its 152nd anniversary this month at Royal Troon in Scotland. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. The game's top players assemble for a chance at the coveted Claret Jug. The Open Championship is about tradition, excellence, and class. And you'll find similar qualities at Naturewood Home Furnishings as they assemble the finest furniture and brand choices for your selection. When you visit Naturewood, you'll be amazed at the gallery of superior furniture available for your lifestyle, for your decor, for your home. This weekend during Naturewood's bedroom sale, you're sure to find the perfect piece you've been searching for. Naturewood is proud to bring you Open Championship updates on this station and proud to offer you the finest furnishings available. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the Waterman.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Morning. Hey, it's Pink Allen. Look at him sporting.
It's more lavender.
Yeah,
Harry, is it lavender? I apologize. How are you doing, fellas?
Sorry, I can't come to work. I've got Pink Allen.
Yeah, that's right. It's rampant this time of year, right around the state fair.
Make sure you wash your hands.
That's right.
Know where those hands have been. What do you think of the press conferences, guys? Are you more excited now than you were before?
Not really. I was pretty excited beforehand.
Yeah, I would say that hearing DeMar, he never really played on any teams that I followed too closely. So just getting to know him a little bit more. Sean Cunningham, friend of the station, with that great Kendrick Lamar question, and Dusamo had a really good question about just, his love of the game, and he referenced Space Jam. So I really appreciated just getting to know him a little bit more, less about the X's and O's and what he's going to bring to the team, just trying to get to know him as a person more.
Wow. And how about Brendan's interview that you didn't reference?
Brendan's was great.
Yeah, he sent it to us via text.
Yes,
so.
Yeah, he sent an audio.
It was an audio. Yeah, we
have it if you need it.
I was stuck in between Wi-Fi. I'm like, Brendan.
And he just dry sent it to us too. Didn't tell us he was doing an interview with DeMar. He just sent an audio.
I'm like, can I turn this on in a public place? I don't really know what this is.
It's a prank video. Yeah, audio.
DD. I was like, okay.
Oh, if I got a hold of it, I would make sure to provide you guys with some sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
You
if you ever get any unlabeled audio from Christopher Lodge, just move it right to the trash can.
But listen from the trash.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
At least.
Yeah, listen alone.
Yeah,
and in private. All right, let's get to it. Celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Birthdays with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than Crumble Cookies.
All right, guys. Happy birthday on this July 10th to Sofia Vergara.
This is going to be a surprising one where she's older than she seems.
Yeah.
I'll say she's 51.
I think it's higher, actually. I'm actually going to go 53.
Going higher. Say 57.
I think Dave is the closest, so I'm going to say 52.
Thank you.
52, 51, 53, 57. We have a correct answer, and it goes to Christopher Law at 52 for Sofia Vergara. Happy birthday to, does he know it's his birthday? Antonio Brown. Former Steeler, Raider.
That one, I honestly have no clue.
Where is he today?
Anybody happen to see what he posted yesterday?
I can't keep up.
On Twitter?
I did not. I don't think I did.
He's gone, dude. He is just absolutely brain dead. It's sad to see, man. Which is so sad.
The thing is, he keeps doing these interviews. He was on The Pivot with Ryan Clark, and the whole thing is, I'm just glad that I left with my health. I'm glad that I left with my health. He keeps saying that, and I just want someone to tell me. Are you sure?
Or it's like, this is you healthy?
He keeps saying that. And Ryan Clark's trying to, do the Ryan Clark thing and have an in-depth conversation. I can't watch this.
No.
Antonio Brown, 30. I think he's either 34 or 35. Yeah. I think he's 34.
I'll say
I think
35.
you're right there. I'll say 35 as well.
32.
The 35s are closest. 36 today for Antonio Brown.
It's been a while.
Happy birthday to Jessica Simpson.
It's been a while.
What was it? Chicken of the Sea?
Yes.
Jessica Simpson is 41.
I think she's older. I think she's 43.
44.
I will say 42.
We have a correct answer. It goes to Chris Watkins, 44 for Jessica Simpson. Happy birthday to former Niner running back Roger Craig.
Right. Roger Craig is 63.
Yeah. 66.
65.
67.
We have a tie. 64 is the correct answer for Roger Craig. How about current Niner, Juwan Jennings?
Super Bowl MVP.
And he can pass.
That really got
I
Chris.
wasn't expecting a Friday Night Lights quote.
Juwan Jennings, 28.
Yeah, that's a good guess. I think you're right. I'll say 27.
Say 30.
29.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Carmichael Dave, 27 for Juwan Jennings. Happy birthday to Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Watch the table.
Urban Meyer is
Your local
66.
college bar.
How old, Dave?
66?
66.
What? 50 or 60?
66.
Okay. Wow, he was
throwing down.
I think he's 60 on the nose.
Oh man, I just hope he's 50. I'm just gonna say I hope he's 52.
63.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Alan Stiles, 60 on the nose.
Yeah.
And we'll close out with Andre Dawson.
Hawk.
Okay.
The Hawk.
Did we have him on the show?
Ooh.
No, I think we had Roger Craig.
Super Bowl?
I think Andre is 66.
Yeah, he's 64.
67.
65.
Chris Watkins, the closest, 70 for Andre Dawson.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Did you know Andre? This is a true story. Did you know Andre Dawson is the director of a funeral home?
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah. All right. For everybody who appeared on the program and all of you listening, except the Booger Eating Raider fans in the chat room, thank you so much. Stiles and Watkins are next. Have fun with them, the fastest growing show in all the world. Bye now.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray.